Pyong pyong. Hello, 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 everyone. How are we doing? I hope you're all doing well today. It is wonderful to see you all. I am Ariel Arashi, your local Sakura ear scuffed boing. And hi, Kais. Kaz, congratulations on your first. Ow! Yuzu on your second, and Betty on your third. Thank you for the hydrates. Back to the bathroom. I don't know what you're talking about. I want to go back there. I just left. Don't send me back. That's the truth indeed. It's like every time before start stream, I have to pee. Could never escape. Anyways, I hope you're all doing well. It's good to see you too, Betty. I hope you're doing well. I hope work has treated you well today. Hello, everyone. And hello, Thor. I hope you're doing well as well. Sorry, I'm all like discombobulated. But hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. It is wonderful to see you all. So today, we are going to be playing through Witch on the Holy Night. It is a visual novel that was recommended to me by, well, Koss, which is why Koss is here harassing us. I've been informed this is ECAT's Hype exclusive gameplay, so I'm here for ECAT's Hype. I don't know about anyone else. I'm here for ECAT's Hype. But thank you, Koss, so much for recommending this game. I don't know anything about it other than that it is an older visual novel that I believe got a remake. Like a not a remake, but like a refurbish, I think it's called. Or I don't know what it's called when like they go back and like update things like graphics and voice lines and whatever. But all I know is that this was a visual novel that came out like several years ago. And now it's been like refurbished recently, and so that's the version I'm playing. And so other than that, yeah, remaster, yes, that's the word, remaster. So other than that, I don't know anything about this game other than Koss telling me it's really enjoyable, and it inspired them in XYZ, and so other than that, because I'm not gonna air all of Koss's secrets on stream. I get secrets, not for you, chat. But Koss recommended this to me, and so we are going to be playing through this for the next few weeks. I'm actually very excited purely because when I did an initial scan through when I was getting the game installed, I went to look for an achievement guide because with visual novels, I often make sure that I have an achievement guide so that I can see everything. Because a lot of the time for visual novels, the achievement guide is basically like a roadmap of like, hey, have you seen all the game has to offer? What I was thrilled to see was, maybe I won't be, I don't know. But what I was thrilled to see was in the section for guides, it didn't seem like there were achievement guides other than someone who compiled all of the deaths. So the death scenes, the bad ending scenes, and how to get them. Which, in my opinion, probably means that it's very straightforward in the terms of there's not going to be a lot of like, oh, you have to do like this very specific thing with this very specific thing to get this very specific ending. It's very much so like you can just kind of enjoy the story, which I'm very excited for, considering a lot of the visual novels I played, it's like, you have to do this very specific thing to get this very specific thing. And it's like, that's not bad, but I am excited for something that I think is very much so more straightforward in the lines of, like, you don't have to, like, convolutedly choose, like, 3 very specific options at the beginning of the game, and that locks you into it. I don't have to 100-line this, where it's like, the one choice I make at the beginning of the lane, like, fish or meat. I'm telling you right now, I'm waiting for the DLC where it's gonna be fish, meat, bug. Takumi's gonna be like, what if I choose the third option? Bug. What does the bug option do? It just makes Side ginormous. It makes all of the characters shrink down, and it becomes an ant farm with a giant Side. Now, I want oh my god. You want to know what would be crazy? I would love if there would be a frog choice, and I would love if it was like completely new route, and it was a whole ass red herring. I want there to be a new route where they choose frog and it's a whole ass red herring. Everyone who knows is like freaking out and it's just a whole ass red herring. And the game is like, you thought you knew, but did you? Bum bum bum. You know what would be even worse is if they introduce with frog, if they introduce an even like more freaky like extraterrestrial monster. It's like, you thought it was the Gi, but it was me all along. Insert other tentacle creature, because all of the creatures in this universe have tentacles for some reason. They know what we like. They know what we like. Shout out, Retsnom. You are tentacle in my heart. You have hold, you are goal. Anyways, so, we are going to momentarily get into Witch on the Holy Night. When I opened the game earlier, just to make sure everything was set up on my OBS, it, like, automatically started the game. So I didn't click anything, but I do know that it, like, automatically gets into it. I haven't seen a title screen yet, so I think it's one of those games, visual novels, where it's like there's a little bit of a prologue and then you hit the title screen, which is kind of fun. So we are going to do that momentarily. The only other thing I'm going to just briefly kind of mention today is I'm a little physically drained today, so please forgive any like slow responses on my end. Please forgive any time I like flub my words today. I'm just a little bit physically exhausted. And I may end a little bit earlier than we normally do, so I may end an hour earlier, just depends kind of on where we are. Oh shoot, thank you, Yuzu, I'm so sorry, thank you, oh my god. Yuzu out here catching the fact that my thing wasn't, there we go, I was like, oh shoot, every time I click into my OBS, I have to remember to refresh one of my scenes, because for some reason it doesn't automatically like connect like a lot of the other stuff. It's a pain in the tusho. Sometimes I remember and sometimes I don't. So if things don't appear on the screen, it's probably because I forgot. Sorry about that, Yuzu. But thank you for catching that for me. My brain is just slow working, but yeah, so please just forgive me today if I'm just a little bit slower on the uptick. But without further ado, I'm going to switch over and we were going to begin. So let me boot up the game and let's get into it. Maybe, possibly. Okay, cool. We can see, right? Yeah, we can see. I don't hear anything yet, so hopefully my audio is set right once I hear things, but I don't hear anything yet. So again, I have absolutely no context for this game at all, which is probably one of the like silliest ways to go into a game. I got only 13 minutes of yap. What is this? It's Eat Cat's Hype. That's what it is, Monekuma. I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Nah, man, we're getting into the visual novel today. I've been informed that there is peak on the horizon. Now, how long I have to play to get to that peak, I don't know. But I've also been told there are pretty girls. And, like, I'm shallow. I like pretty girls. I'm shallow as... I like a pretty girl. I mean, I'm not gonna turn down pretty girls. Alright. So I have no context behind this, but I'm very excited to see what happens. It was a winter's day 8 years ago. Oh, I like the little feather. That solemn morning when she understood the value of life for the very first time. Oh, now it's a book. Oh, I wonder if it's like a feathering book because it's like to be written in kind of thing, like it's a quill. Oh, okay, I hear music, so I'm gonna turn this up for you guys. Are you guys able to hear the music just kind of faintly? Okay, cool. Thank you. Good. Okay, I know there's voice acting in this, so if the voice acting like cuts through and like blares, I'll adjust it then, but thank you. Her home was nestled in the side of a mountain. I like this little like icon, the like little feather icon. Around it was nothing but inhospitable wilderness. She had no neighbors or childhood friends to speak of. Things like traveling to school or playing outside were more trouble than they ought to be. Indeed, within its pure water and bright stars, it was a place rich with memories, both frustrating and... Halkyan? I've never seen this word before. Hang on. Bun's gonna learn a new word today. Halkyan? Halkyan. I can assume it's like, it means like, you know, like both frustrating but also like kind of like nice. Because it's like both, because it seems like it's like memories both frustrating and like, you know, like good memories, like good and bad. So, Halcyon. I was not going to, yeah, the Halcyon. Denoting a period of time in the past that was idyllically happy and peaceful. I've never seen this word before. Oh dear goodness. Halcyon. Yeah, I've never seen this word before. Again, I figured it meant like peaceful because it's like both you know, good and the bad, but I've never seen this word. Oh god, this game is gonna be full of English words I've never seen before. You guys are gonna realize how stupid I am. That was only during summer though, but the winters were cold and harsh, frigid and unforgiving. Winters in those mountains were extremely frigid, each morning more severe than the last. Her father would drive her to the train station, after waiting 10 minutes for the engine to warm up and the iced-over windows to clear. Oh, dang. Okay, there was a voice there. Mind starting up the car for me? Her father would save her his morning coffee, leaving her to venture outside and rev the engine. Wow. So I have to rev the engine myself? I wonder why I'm going to the train station. Out from the front door she would go, traversing the garden with icy breath, until she reached that old sedan. As always, she inserted the key and started the ignition. The engine rumbled to life. Good old trusty sedan, man. Dad's got a good old trusty sedan. Just as she proudly finished that humble task she'd done so many times before. She died! Wow, that was quick. That death was quick. I didn't even have to do anything and she died. Look at me go. A shrill scream pierced the air. She knew, even though it wasn't human, that the feeble sound was a cry. Wait! That it wasn't human? Oh my god, are we getting into the supernatural already? A few moments passed. Her father came out and opened the hood of the car. Creaking fan belts. A monstrous-looking engine. And something that didn't belong. Kitty? There was a cat, a mother by the look of it, and 2 kittens. The 3 cats had been huddled for warmth in the engine compartment. The mother cat was oh, good lord! Okay! That was quick! GG's! That was quick. Alright. GG's. I've already murdered something. Now, whether or not this cat is a like a stand-in allegorically for a human, or if I actually did murder a cat, geez, I'm a monster either way. Well, I mean, the cat didn't need its head anyway, right? One of the kittens had been mangled beyond recognition by the engine belts and surely died instantly. What about the 3rd cat? Was the 3rd cat lucky enough to make it out of this? Or did I commit triple murder? Did I, by starting the engine, commit triple murder? The other kitten, its face half covered in blood, panted faintly. It desperately clung to its mother, or rather the chunk of meat that had been its mother, with the last bit of life it could muster. Poor things. Her father lamented their plight. The previous night had been especially cold. After he'd returned home yesterday, the cats must have snuck under the hood, drawn by the warmth of the engine. This is so sad! They had slept next to the engine, and awoken to a storm of spinning belts. Cars in the 80s were not sealed particularly well, so this was not unheard of. Oh, okay, so now I've got a time frame. Okay. Oh, these are like old cars. I was thinking it was like a more modern sedan. This is like an old sedan. It's okay. Was it your fault? Oh, I don't even know my own name. Okay. Her father's voice seemed distant. She could only make out a small tuft of the kitten's gray fur. What if I adopt it? I'm the murderer and to atone, I adopt the cat. I'm like, you're mine now. You're mine now. The rest of it was caked in the blood of its mother and brother. I can see its skull. The fragile life of a speckled kitten, trembling and possibly blind. It continued to nuzzle against its dead mother's chest. Wait! She took the kitten into her arms and ran deep into the mountains to her grandfather's house. Oh! Okay, I didn't know what the narrator's perspective on this was. I think this is like fully 3rd person with interspersed with like a 1st-person dialogue. I kind of like this. Was it because she was overcome with regret? Or was it the shock of grief? Years later, she still wasn't sure. Fighting back the welling tears, she burst into her grandfather's workshop. Her grandfather was a magician who could do anything. Oh, no, girl, no, don't do it, don't do it. We don't mess with life and death. We don't mess with life and death. The last time a character did that, they lost their eyeball. No, don't do it. It's not going to end well, I promise. She had never seen magic. She knew that magic was a fantasy straight out of fairy tales, but so was her grandfather. She had to find him. He was the only one who could help. I suppose you want me to alter this kitten's fate? But the kitty! Listen! But the kitty, we're gonna bring the kitty back to life and it's going to be horrific. This is gonna be a monkey's paw situation. We're gonna bring this cat back to life and it's going to like curse us, curse the kitty. Well, I will say, the only way I would accept this is okay is if it turns the kitty into a cat girl. I'd be down for a cute cat girl. I'd be down for that. But like, we're gonna bring this kitty back to life and like horrifically impact everyone around us. Like, bringing this cat back to life fully means that like I'm going to like murder the entire village I live in. Like, I'm ready for this. It never ends well. This is the origin of Nekopata. It is. Spoilers, everyone. It is the origins of Nekopata. Listen, I'm too disillusioned. I'm too disillusioned by Vigimo games. I know for a fact you don't tamper with life and death. The moment you do that, like, something horrific is going to happen. You know what I'm hoping for? If this is like alter the kitten's fate and it's still alive, like maybe we could just like heal it up, you know what I mean? Like maybe we could just like heal it up, put it on the mend, let it live a good life. I don't think we should mess with life and death, you know? The cave-dwelling magician said indifferently. This kitten needs our help, she pleaded. Whether it was a simple task or a Herculean labor, her grandfather would not say. He simply granted the girl's childish wish like a machine. That's crazy! We're really just tampering with life and death at a whim here. Grandpa really said, anything for my dear granddaughter. It's fine if this horrifically ruins the lives of the humans you're living with. Poof! Oh god, this is not gonna end well for us. I'm telling you right now, this is 1000% a no good deed goes unpunished. This is such a no good deed goes unpunished. Why does it look all decrepit now? Oh no, the girl said. Before she knew it, however, she was holding a tiny corpse in her hands. It's like, let us alter the kitten's fate. Instead of bringing it back to life, we just permadeathed it. Is that what's happened? Instead of bringing the kitty back to life, we permadeathed it? I'm telling you, this is why you don't play around with life and death. This is what happens. Its fur was cold. The warmth of life had left its body, and the tears she had fought so hard to hold back poured from her eyes. Regret spread through her chest like an endless gray sky. We were too late. Some things cannot be undone. Oh, thank goodness. You know what? I'm okay with this. I would rather, that sounds so bad, but I would rather this have happened than tampering with life and death. Like, I feel like this is probably the best of the actions. The moment we messed with that fate thing, we were gonna go down a horrific spiral. Like this, there is no way that like us bringing that cat back was like not going to spiral horrifically. I've seen how this works. This sounds sad. Yeah, I'm like 5 minutes into this game and I may or may not have accidentally taken the life of a sweet creature. My bad. Her mind struggled to come to grips with what had just occurred. The last 10 minutes were a total blank. Who she met, what she had known, it was all as if it had never happened. The only thing she was sure of was that life, once extinguished, can never return. And nor should it! We don't play with life and death! Is somebody there? That day, it was her mistake that gave birth to me. Oh, the narrator's a female? Indeed. Whatever occurred that day, it was a day of nostalgia and longing. Oh, yeah, it could be normal bun things. I mean, would it not be bun if I don't cause a little bit of chaos? This is the fairy tale of 8 years ago. Oh, I thought this narrator was like impartial. I didn't realize the narrator was like a player in the story. The day we first met, that no magic can ever bring back. Or maybe this is the cat talking. Ooh. Hello? Oh! Arrogant, greedy, and able only to destroy. I must be a wolf. Oh, I don't... Oh, that's actually really cool what's being done right now. That's really cool. So there is a background painted over the screen, and they're just moving the one portion that actually allows the background to shine through. So it's like, it looks like it's white, but that's actually really clever. I don't have regrets. There's no looking back. If my pride has left you behind, my sincere condolences. Oh, shoot. Listen, I'm not the alpha wolf, she's the alpha wolf. And honestly, I mean, I'm here for it if I get some Yuri ABO. I'm here for some Yuri, you know what I mean? I'm here for it. If this is, am I about to find this to be an ABO story? Gosh, you should have told me. I would have, like, dressed up for this. I looked at the game, it looks the same as Fate. Yeah, I think it's by the same studio. But at any rate, I suppose it's my fate to die at the hands of Little Red Riding Hood. Chapter 1, Strange One. Woo! Oh, I was like, why Little Red Riding Hood? Big Bad Wolf. Big Bad Wolf. I'm slow sometimes, you know? I'm slow to this. These backgrounds are gorgeous. It was a quiet morning. From her bed, she could see the sky was an ashen watercolor gray. The thermometer displayed 42 degrees Fahrenheit, a rather unforgiving temperature for November. Hey! Localization team was American. I love that whenever I see Fahrenheit, I can immediately tell the localization team was American. Makes me laugh, because like any other place that speaks English would have used Celsius, but it's like, you see Fahrenheit, it means localization team was American. We love it, localization team. Give me those freedom units. Actually, I'm putting this out there. 43 degrees Fahrenheit for November is actually pretty great. I used to live up in, like, the north of the US, and, like, it would not be 43 degrees Fahrenheit in November. Now, you're looking at, like, -3, and you step outside, you're like, -3. It's not too cold today. Like, 43 degrees Fahrenheit as an unforgiving temperature for November seems like a southern USA kind of problem. Like where it's, like, you know, like, 90 degrees, like, in summer, and so they're like, oh my god, 40 degrees is so chilly. I'm like, dude, it's not even, like, freezing temperature. It's part of the sister cities, Tsukihime. Oh, really? So you're telling me there's more to this, so if I like this, there's more. Ooh. I look at that and I think unbearably hot weather. Yeah, it's like, this is what I mean. They're like, it's such an unforgiving temperature for November, and I'm looking at that going, 43 degrees is nice. It's not super cold, but it's also, like, not everything is icy, freezing my bum off. Like, this is great. Oh, yeah, 43, right, because you're Celsius. You're looking at that going, I'm sorry, it's 43 what now? Excuse me? We love our 43 degrees in freedom units. Again, I just think it's fun. Anytime I see Fahrenheit, I'm like, okay, localization team was English. It was American. I just think that's really great. Because there are some, like, media that I've seen the localization for, and the localization is, it's a Celsius. And I'm like, localization team was, not American. I'm like, good. But I think that's funny. It's like Fahrenheit versus Celsius is, like, one of the first things that you can, like, immediately pinpoint localization. Her stomach woke her with a growl, pathetically reminding her that she had completely missed breakfast. Well, it's time for eggs and wakey eggs and bakey. Wakey egg and bakey. But lazy mornings like today were, for her, a blessing. The day where I'm not, like, run ragged right from the get-go. It's like, I just want a nap. I want some toast. That's what I want. I want some, like, toast. Like, toast with a little bit of butter on it in the morning. It's, like, kind of tasty. Little butter, little jam. It was already well past 8 in the morning. On any ordinary weekday, tardiness would be unavoidable. But today, classes were canceled in commemoration of the school's anniversary. That's nice. Wish my school would be canceled in commemoration of the school's anniversary. Actually, no, I don't. Because the moment they do that, it's like American schooling system. They're like, no, we have to make it up. So you have to come in on a weekend, or you have to, like, come in, like, after the school year is over. It's like, to, like, make up the days. I'm like, this is miserable. Oh, yeah, color. Yeah, the spelling of color is what I see because it's a common word. I learned that, recently I learned, because I can't spell, that, American English and British English, quote unquote, but basically American versus everyone else, the word raccoon is spelled differently. And I was spelling it with the, like, British, the, English spelling of it, not by choice. It's because I couldn't spell raccoon in American English. I'm American. I didn't know how to spell it, so I learned that there are two different spellings for the word raccoon. Why? Because I misspelled raccoon. But I got it right. So I thought that was kind of funny, you know? I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, oh, look at that. There's a lot of words like that. Yeah, apparently there are two different spellings of the word raccoon. You could spell raccoon differently depending on where you live. I was like, oh, I just misspelled this completely. Because when I Googled it, I was like, oh my god, this actually is a spelling of it. I know, right? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But you're right, color. I think valor is another one that I've seen. It's not like super common, but I've seen like valor with the UR. And I'm putting this out there. I think like realistically, color and like some of the words that are like valor, color, that kind of thing, spelled in like British English, I think it's like actually lends to how it's supposed to be pronounced, like color. However, I'm a disgusting American, and I'm like, well, it looks weird because this is what I grown up with, so so it's like, here I am. Why? Because I'm like, I don't know, man. Don't ask me. Don't ask me to do anything. Or actually, I can't spell to save my life either. So like, no one should ever ask me for anything. I can't spell. Yeah, it's like CCOON, I think. Again, it's like ROACOON and then RACCOON. And I spelled it incorrectly for the American spelling. I was like, I didn't know that there were two spellings. So, you know, learn something new every day. I just can't spell. If you guys ever get like texts from me, if you ever see messages from me, if you ever see me tweet something and there's like horrific spelling mistakes, just know it is me. You know, there's that like meme where it's like, how would you immediately let people know that like you've been kidnapped and someone's taken over your account? My response is, if I ever start typing without horrific spelling mistakes, that's how you know someone has stolen my skin. It's not me anymore, because I swear I can't spell to save my life. I cannot spell to save my life. Like, it is horrific. It's the only class in school that like I think I ever like semi-failed was spelling. I've just never been good at it. And let me tell you, I spell so poorly that like I'm the person who has to type something into Google, and like Google doesn't know what I'm trying to say. Oh my god, recently it was the word ascend. I couldn't figure out I couldn't figure out how to spell ascend. I was like, is it CC? Is it SS? Turns out ascend is ASC. I was like, oh, that's why I couldn't figure it out. So, you know, if you ever see a message from me and like the spelling is atrocious, don't worry about it. Just know it means that I haven't been taken by a skinwalker. I have horrible spelling and grammar, but my autocorrect helps me. So my grammar is perfectly fine. I'm great on grammar. I cannot spell to save my life. My autocorrect can't help me. My autocorrect is like, girl, I don't even know what you're trying to say. Like, do you know what you're trying to say? And I'm like, yes, but I don't know how to spell what I'm trying to say. Oh my god, the word column yesterday, like, completely eluded me. I couldn't remember. And you know what's so crazy is I kept trying to spell it with a B. I was like, I know there's a silent letter in column. I can't remember what it is. Is it a B? I couldn't figure it out. I kept spelling with a B, and then I googled it. It was an N. Like, there's an N at the end. Column. No. I was like, oh, there we go. No one called me out on it. I think, like, people are just used to, like, getting texts from me. They're like, Ariel, we know what you're trying to say, even though the spelling is atrocious. But, like, it's a combination of I can't spell, and also the keyboard that I use on my, like, PC when I'm, like, sitting here to stream. I'm very unused to, like, using a keyboard, so I have a tendency to, like, hit the keys incorrectly. Because a lot of my time is spent on, like, a laptop. Yeah, a lot of factors working against me because I'm super stupid. Also, hey Chi, I hope you're doing well. It's good to see me. Good to see you. That's why I so frequently use text to speech to text. No, I would do that. The only problem is I have to like slow down my speech to be understood by the text to speech because I speak really fast a lot of the time. So like I have to like slow down, use my narrator voice when I use text to speech. I'm like, okay, slow and enunciation so the device can pick me up. Because if not, you're going to get something that's like, Japoxafrid. And I go, I didn't even say something with the word J. How did you get Japoxafrid? It can take me 2 minutes to type a whole sentence otherwise. No, I feel that. But yeah, I can't type to save my life. It's bad. Alright. On any ordinary weekday, tardiness would be unavoidable, but today classes were cancelled in commemoration of the school's anniversary. Gratefully, she had every intention of taking it easy for the first time in ages. Outside the window was a gloomy gray, and it reminded her more of evening than morning. I think it's meant to be like, I think this is meant to be like frosted rain on like a window. I really like this. I think it's meant to be like frosted rain on a window, which is like so pretty. I hope we get like a high def image of this, because if it is what I think it is, it's like so pretty. It wasn't a pleasant morning by any stretch of the imagination, but having been up all night until just 3 hours ago, she could care less about the weather outside. Me too! Listen, sleep is a construct. We don't need sleep. All she cared about was more sleep. I'm going back to bed, gang. We're going back to bed. We're going back to bed with the protagonist. We're going back to bed. As long as she could spend her morning in bed, what was happening outside was of no concern to her. We're gonna turn and look outside. It's gonna be the end of the world. See, look how pretty this is! Oh my god, with the glass and the rain. Oh, she shut the curtains. Then closed her eyes and tried to let sleep reclaim her. Oh, I must be a musician. Because it's got like guitars, amps, it looks like music magazines. I must be a musician. I'd like a nice uneventful dream for 2 hours. Thank you. Blissful slumber found her soon enough. Her consciousness faded. However, her simple request would be mercilessly refused. Oh, hooray! It's time to go to Nightmare Town. They're so cruel. A faint but shrill sound lingered in her ears. Oh, it's the phone ringing. It was the unmistakable ring of a telephone. Call back later. I'm not taking calls at this moment. Call back later. Much to her chagrin, her eyes popped out of habit. Oh, come on. Why today of all days? The telephone was situated in the foyer on the first floor. Answering it meant walking down a 30-foot corridor and going down a flight of stairs. God, I have to go all the way down to the first floor? You know what? If it's really that important, they can leave a message. The bed is comfy. They can leave a message. In her sleep-deprived state, that distance seemed somewhere between incredibly far and astronomically far. I swear if I fall down the steps and die, oh my goodness. The phone's incessant ringing continued. She knew the caller would eventually give up if she ignored it, but she chose to fight the urge. Oh, wow. That's so, wow. Oh my goodness. So fancy. This house is so fancy. Why doesn't Alice answer it? She thought her housemate would get it, but she soon had to abandon all hope. The realization struck her that her housemate did not have the day off from school and was likely in class at her prestigious little hilltop academy. Prestigious. The caller proved incredibly persistent. That persistence made the volume of the ringing seem even louder. That probably the fact that I'm now standing next to the phone. I'm trying to sleep here. She was left with no choice but to get up, throw a top on, and leave the room. Oh my god, she's a girly just like me. I'm sorry. This may be considered like I don't know when this was like originally written and published. So like that comment may be considered like kind of gross or whatever, but she really is a girly just like me. I don't sleep with a shirt on either. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't sleep with a shirt on. I sleep with like shorts, but I don't sleep with a shirt on. So like me too, girly. You really are a girl's girl. I wonder. God, it's cold. Probably because I'm quite literally walking around in like a pajama top and shorts. It's like cold underneath my feet. This is, oh my god, this place is huge. Is this like a dorm hall? Like a school dorm hall? Or like a boarding school kind of thing? Or like a, not necessarily boarding school, maybe like an apartment kind of esque thing? It's the radiant in the hall that kind of makes me like, it gives me like hotel vibes. Or do I like live in like some fancy mansion? She rubbed her hands together to warm her numb fingers. The mansion's heating system was inadequate, to say the least. Yeah, I spent all the money on the mansion, guys. I couldn't pay for gas and electric. No water either. Which meant that winter was the very worst of uninvited guests. Never more so than on a dreary morning as this, when one did not need to use a thermometer to know how cold it was. I'm putting this out there though. I would prefer like a cold winter to a hot summer, purely because like cold winter means you can like bundle up. Like if I like waddle around and bundle myself in like a warm blanket, or yeah, agreed, heck summer, heck the swamp. If I can like bundle myself up in like warm blankets and I can like sip warm tea, it's like I can warm myself up in winter. I can't take my skin off in summer when everything's like hot and gross and like sticky. It's like bleh. So it's like, you know, the mansion sat in the mountains and was surrounded by dense forest. Winter always arrived here first, before moving on to nearby towns. Well, yeah, that's because you're high up, silly. Okay, so is this entire place just for me and Alice, or are there other girls who live here? The robotic ring of the telephone reverberated throughout the long hallway. I'm surprised the person is still ringing. I mean, I've spent like, what, 10 minutes of lollygagging on this phone? I'm surprised they're persistent enough to still ring. The mansion's furnishings had been so perfectly maintained that it made the place feel unlived. It seemed lonelier than it did splendid. That's what happens when things are abandoned. Coupled with the dreary morning, it could have passed for a haunted house. Well, it's a haunted house, I suppose. It's too large for just the two of us. Okay, so it's just me and Alice living here. It's just me and my girlfriend, Alice. Is my name Yusuha? She counted more than 30 rings since it first began. Well, I guess it'd be me, Alice, and then this mysterious third person who's the narrator. The caller either had a lot of free time on their hands or had a good understanding of the house's circumstances, which I guess would be, it's gonna take someone a while to get to the main phone line. She had a strong hunch it was the latter. The window above looked out onto a gloomy sky. She hastened to catch the unrelenting ring in the act as soon as possible, though she had a feeling that her happy morning might come to a close. It was here that a series of incidents began. Say goodbye to my peaceful school life. Say goodbye to my peaceful school life. Killing game incoming. It's never that simple. Apologies for the lack of No! I wanted a romantic story like none that had come before. I thought this would be a fun story. For whether it be objectively true or merely superstition, it is always from gloomy and unassuming beginnings that extraordinary events are set into motion. Don't call yourself out, game. Don't call yourself out. Oh, I like this. I feel like multiple VAs are being confused here. Listen, I'm just mashing it all up. Planning. Oh, okay, these are the credits. Is that me? I hope that I get an actual defined look at me, but I hate the fact that like looking at it, I look like the most generic YN protagonist ever. Yeah, fade to black screen. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's black screen? Why is it black screen? Hang on. Am I not able to show the credits? The credits are going right now. Wait, what is this? I didn't do anything. Hang on. Hello? Oh, shoot. Why is it not? Is the game being blocked from streaming? I don't think so. I don't know. Hang on. It may be just this segment. Let me get past this portion. Let me try again. It was working fine before. Because now when I try to boot it up on the thing, it's... Huh. Yeah, version 1.1. technical difficulties. I can't wait for 2.0, you guys. I got something for when there are technical difficulties. I cannot wait to show it off, but I'm saving it for 2.0. But I think you guys will get a kick out of it. Let's see. Let's try that. No? Yeah, my guess is, yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's playing, a pre-rendered thing. It doesn't, yeah, check the sources for anything new. That's what I'm checking right now, and it may be something different, because I think when I booted up Witch on the Holy Night, this is version 1.1 now, and it used to be version 4.1. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was gonna say. Yeah. So I was going to say, I'm pretty sure yeah, depending on what you use, they block recording. Yeah, I was going to say, I think I read through, there was actually like a guide that you had to sign before you downloaded the game, and I read through it, and I think that essentially the way that it works for Steam is if you want to, if you want to like stream the thing, there are sections that I think that like it like won't let you screenshot and stuff like that. It'll let you like screenshot stuff like that, but it's like you can't like post the full thing beyond like XYZ, I think. Because I did read the streaming restrictions. And interestingly enough, I think from what I remember looking at, it's like past chapter like 5, I think, is what it is. It's like you can do chapters 1 through 4, but anything past chapter 5, I think you're supposed to I think you're not supposed to be able to stream it, but I think that's what it is. And I think the reason for that is because of, like, it's the viewing experience kind of thing. Yeah, that's what I read. Yeah, I think it's chapter 5, because I think it's, like, the console versions have, like, a built-in, like, blocker. And again, I think the reason for that is it's, like, they don't want the entire thing just kind of, like, ruined for everyone kind of thing. I think that's the reason why. So I think what we're gonna do is we'll see just how much the game allows me to get away with just based. Oops, so whoopsies, my bad. I didn't realize I hit the hidden button. Yeah, because when I went to like stream this, I like read the agreement. I was like, I just want to make sure that this is okay. And I think it's the way that Steam works too, is that I think at some points the content you're not supposed to show is blocked out because of the way the Steam platform does work, which is kind of nice. So I think Danganronpa had something similar. Not that anyone follows that, because at this point, Kodaka's gone off the deep end. Kodaka has gone off the deep end at this point. We've seen what 100 Line looks like. My gut feeling for this, with the way the Steam client exports to streaming client is, my gut feeling is anything that they don't want shown is probably going to be like redacted, like that intro movie. Because I can see them not wanting that like intro movie, because nothing changed. I'm still on the same version I was. So my gut tells me that it's like, the way that it works is like, anything that they don't want, like the animated stuff, it just won't show up. So I do apologize. You'll just have to listen to my riveting commentary with the black screen, where I go, ooh, oh no, she got stabbed. But I do apologize, you guys. But I think that this is a good trial run. This is a good trial run. Yeah, my guess is, too, is if it's a pre-rendered movie, it's probably playing somewhere else. But thank you all so much for, like, sitting through this and, like, buckling down with me. I do appreciate it. Because I was proud of myself. I did do my due diligence, like, before I streamed this. I was like, I just have to make sure that, like, I'm okay to, like, do this. And I am. It's okay. Up to the certain point, you know? It's like, I've gotten so careless. I'm like, it's fine, it's fine. I was proud. I was like, oh, there's an agreement. I'm actually gonna read this. I was very proud. I trust the bun did her due diligence. I was so proud of myself for like reading the thing. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna read this. I probably should read this. All right. Well, thank you all so much for like for you know waiting that out with me. I do appreciate it. Sorry about that. Let's get back into this. The rain had subsided somewhat by the time she reached the school gate. Sunlight seemed to be playing peekaboo behind the clouds in the distance. It looked like it might be cleared up by early afternoon. Did you find something I missed, Betty? Is that throw because you found something I missed? Oh, no sound on throw? Really? Okay, hang on. Let me throw something again.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Was there sound for that? Hang on. Did you hear sound on those? Let me know if you didn't. Okay, no sound. Shoot. Hang on. Huh. Your throw had sound. Okay, throw sound. You know what it may be? It may have been one of the quieter throws. I've got two of them. It's like a, like, wait. I've got like a bonk that's a little bit softer and then like a thwap. Maybe that was the issue. Ow. My brain's gonna have nothing left, you guys. My brain's gonna have nothing left. Thank you for helping me check that though, Betty. I really appreciate it. Monokuma! My brain! My brain! It hurts! Why would you do that to me? You're so cruel. You're so cruel. All blame goes to you. Nah, man, that's all on you. I saw you throwing. All right. No, that it has anything to do with me. Not that it has anything to do with me, though. The weather reflected her luck. Crummy! On top of being forced out of the house at such an early hour, she had to suffer through a winter rain. I'm getting a bad feeling about this. The sinking feeling she had only grew as she passed through the entrance and headed inside. Where am I going? Am I going to school? Is that where I'm going? Am I going to school? She didn't encounter any other students along the way. That's not ominous at all. That's not ominous at all. It's definitely not concerning. Huh. Nor did she see anyone taking part in club activities either. The reception desk to the faculty room simply read faculty closed. Why did I go to school if I knew it was closed? Because didn't I say that like I knew it was closed? The school had given all of its students the day off. Except those explicitly summoned, like her. You're kidding me. You're kidding. Oh, you're kidding. I have to. I love that it's like I had the day off. Guts phone call. Ring, 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 ring. No, you don't. Sucks to be you. Guess who gets to come in on their off day? It really is crummy luck. This is so dumb. Why do I have to come in on my day off? Rude. The fact that irked her more as the fact that irked me. I'm sitting here calling foul too. I'm like, what is this absolute malarkey? Hang on, my cord's tangled. I'm so sorry. Okay, we're good. Sorry. She opened the door to the faculty room and headed towards the desk she had visited a number of times before. in the world? I thought I untangled my cord. Hang on, chat. I'm so sorry. What did I do? What did I do? I just had to lift the whole chair up, you guys. I don't know what I did. The man at the desk wore a plain shirt and suit that were nonetheless neatly pressed. Slim-framed glasses adorned his face, giving off an amicable yet cunning air. Is this the, like, headmaster? Am I about to like, meet with the headmaster? I'm like, headmaster, why did you bring me in here? The mild-mannered image his mid-20s man presented clashed with the cigarette he smoked. He didn't appear to have noticed her yet.
Yamashiro-sensei.
Mr. Yamashiro. She closed the door with a bang. I love that I was like, I could have come in quietly. I was like, bang! No, you dragged me in here. Slams door. Showing no response to the sudden sound, Mr. Yamashiro lifted his head.
Yeah. Ohayo.
Wait, he looks so friendly. He looks so friendly. This is like really cute. Actually, he looks really kind of, he looks like very like stereotypical kind of like teacher in like a visual novel kind of thing, but he looks really friendly. Hey there. Good morning, Miss. Oh, Aozaki. So that must be, I assume that's my first name. I guess this means you got the call?
Hi.
Yes. They called me at home about an hour ago. Out of the blue. Having graduated from this high school himself, Mr. Yamashiro was not much older than the rest of his students. I can tell. He's not much older, but he's still old enough to be smoking, which I absolutely love. He's like, these damn kids. These damn kids. For that reason, the students preferred him over the other It's because he's more lenient. Absolutely pure leniency. I love it. Love it. He always had something interesting to talk about and kept conversations casual. In fact, he seemed more like an older student than a teacher, but she, unfortunately, didn't share her fellow students' fondness for— of course she doesn't! Of course she doesn't! She was of the opinion that teachers should come across as more oh shoot, I know what this word means, but how do I pronounce it? Is it austere? Austere. Austere. I think it's austere. Like an iron fist that could inspire both love and hate in equal measures. Not a buddy to joke and pal around. So, Anaxagoras, understandable. I think you would love my favorite professor. My favorite professor, my first thought was like, that's Anaxagoras, yeah. I feel like Dr. Ratio is too mean. Would be too mean. Like, too iron fist. He was the exact opposite of how she felt a teacher should be. It was only natural that her manner towards him would be forced and unfriendly. I love that she's like, no, I hate you. I'm gonna make hating you part of my personality. Not that she'd ever been wired to make friendly small talk. She's like, I didn't have to and I'm not gonna. You're in a foul mood today?
You must be imagining it.
I'm like this every day. The matter-of-fact answer perfectly matched the displeasure displayed on her face. I love her! Her bad mood from having to get up early and the tiredness from staying up late must have collectively made her look positively adversal. Listen, man, sometimes you gotta keep the people at arm's length. I'm here for it.
So?
If you say so, just go easy on our guest, okay? To be honest, we're not completely sure how to deal with him yet. Deal with who yet? Who's our guest?
Sensei.
About that, do you want to tell me what the hell is going on? Because I have no clue. As Mr. Yamashiro met her piercing eyes, he finally understood the reason behind her tone, and slowly put out his cigarette. Let's start at the beginning. What did they tell you over the phone? I'd be introduced to a transfer student. They were a little hazy on the rest, though. One of Mr. Yamashiro's eyebrows stood up, impressed with the brevity of her answer. He could see that she was angry, not because she had been called to school on her day off, but because she hadn't been told why she was here. You know, honest to God, I feel like I would be the same way. Like, if I was called to school on my day off and I literally had not been told why, I was just told, like, you know, you're gonna meet with a transfer student, get your butt over here, I'd be upset too. It's like, I can understand if they'd like explain the reasoning as to why it had to be me, but if they just tell me, get your butt over here, I'd be pissed off too. Like, I don't want that. I was having a relaxing day off taking a nap. Mr. Yamashiro chuckled sympathetically. He's like, we're here in this together too. And I'm like,
Sensei.
If this was all a joke to you, perhaps I should just go home. Wait. I didn't mean to laugh. This isn't a practical joke. We could really use your help. So, is there really a transfer student? Yes. But he has... how should I put it? difficult circumstances.
彼
His
宗
name
十郎
is
君と言うんだけど、ちょっといろいろとずれていてね。僕らが案内してあげるより同世代の君の方が適任だと思ったんだ。
Sojiro. And he's a bit, well, peculiar. So we thought someone around the same age would be best suited to show him the ropes. And I was selected? How was I selected? What sort of BSery is this that, like, I got selected? What sort of upsettery spaghettery does it mean that, like, I'm the one who got selected for this job? I don't like this. Yeah, me too. I'm like, really? Of all the people, could have been me? She threw him an unamused look. It was negligent of them to be pushing teaching duties onto her, but she did wonder how exactly this transfer student was peculiar. Maybe he meant the student had behavioral problems, or was difficult somehow. But peculiar, she didn't have the slightest idea what that meant.
ずれてるのに
You don't hear a teacher call someone that every day. With that said, it looks like we've got an ad break coming in the next few moments, so please use this opportunity to get a drink, get a snack, stretch your legs. I will be taking a break as well, so you won't miss anything, and when we get back, we are going to continue on. I'm gonna finish all this ad break reading the other agreement I found, and I'm pretty sure I'm okay. But I'm just gonna, yeah. Just gonna finish reading the thing. Alright. I'm kind of intrigued to see where this is going. Koss, if you can hear me, I totally understand now why you said that this was an inspiration for you. I totally get it. I see it. I see it clearly. Not a bad thing. Just a statement. I think it's going blah, 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 blah. No, but Koss, let me tell you, I get it. I totally get it. When you told me this was an inspiration for you, I was like, okay, now that I'm reading it, just this first segment, I'm like, I see it. I fully see it. Not a bad thing. Just a comment. Hang on, let me laugh at you, guys. Let me laugh at you. Alright. Koss died. GG. GG. This is me antagonizing people. Alright, give me one moment. I'm gonna go pee really quickly, chat, and I'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate it. Let's get back into it. You don't hear a teacher call someone that every day. She had her doubts, but swept them aside for now. I got a feeling there's like a very specific reason I was chosen for this, and I'm not gonna like the very specific reason I was chosen for this. Not looking forward to that. This wasn't the time to get distracted by more concerns. The fact remained that this conversation was all the peculiar she could handle, and she needed more information. She was already beginning to fantasize about saying no, and curling up in her warm bed at home. Me too, girly. Me too. Me too, girly. I love it.
一つ質問が
I
あり
have a
ます
question.
何
Ah,
学年は君と同
yes.
じ2年生だ
He's
よ
a second tier student like
性
you.
格は落ち
He's
着き
well
があっ
behaved and a
て
good
人の
listener.
話をよく
He's
聞
not
く
the
タイ
most
プ
energetic
裏
individual,
を
but
返せば
that just means
覇
with
気
the
がない
easy
と
to get
も
along
取れ
with,
るけどそれ
right?
青崎
It's
君
not
と
what I
は
was
ク
going
ラ
to
スは
ask,
違う
but
けど
okay.
きっと
He's
仲
not
良
in
く
the
な
same homeroom class as you, but I'm sure you'll get along just.
そういったことは
I'll
本
be
人
the
から
judge
直
of that
接
when I
聞き
actually
ますし
meet him.
そうではなく
And none of that
な
answered
ぜ
my
私なん
question.
でしょうか
Why me? Though her tone was still stern, it was clear that she was willing to cooperate. She had decided to put her feelings of dissatisfaction aside and focus on the task at hand. She's a good person, not like me. Forcing herself to act empathetic in spite of her self-absorbed nature was something she was used to. Paradoxically, this force of will was also the reason teachers put so much faith in her. I love that. I love that. She's like, I'm going to hold everyone and myself to the highest standard because if I'm great, the rest of you should aspire to be as great as me.
Hydrate or
To a point. Thank you for the hydrates. At times, that strength shattered expectation, and on those occasions, they were left with no choice but to treat it like a natural disaster and weather it until it passed. That was how Mr. Yamashiro had come to deal with her over the past year. Poor Mr. Yamashiro.
もう一度だけ聞きます山城先生
I'll ask you one more time, Mr. Yamashiro.
それで
Why does it
な
have
ぜ
to be
私
me?
なん
Pressured by a question without a clear yes or no, he answered.
うんそれはね
Well, about that,
別に青崎
you're
君が
probably
先生
thinking it's
方に
because
敬
you're
遠されているのと同
the
じぐらい
iron-fisted ruler of
信
the
頼され
student
ていて
council,
学
and are
校の
willing
た
to
めなら
strike down
教師も
both
生徒
teacher
も
and
一緒
student
くた
for
に
the
切
good
っ
of
て
the
捨てる
school.
鉄の生徒
But
会
you're
長
wrong.
それ以外にこん
I
な呼
can't
びつけ
imagine
を受
any
け
other
る理由
reason
は
you'd
な
call me. Her eyes did nothing to hide her disbelief as she glared at him. Strength, far beyond that of an ordinary 17-year-old girl, coupled with the youthful beauty of one. Mr. Yamashiro let slip a genuine smile, admiring the miraculous balance of cool qualities.
いや
I mean,
責務だけで
I'd
いいな
handle
ら
this
僕がやっ
myself
て
if
る
it
さ
was just about pure
この人生
obligation,
に
but
関しちゃ
who
教
gets
師や
this
生
job
徒
has
会長
nothing
と
to
いった
do with
役職
whether
も
they're a
関係ないよ
teacher or on the student council. Well, then why me? Then why me? If this is just pure obligation, like, you know, if this wasn't just about pure obligation, you know, and who gets this job has nothing to do with whatever, why me? You haven't answered why me yet. Hey, Phil, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing
な
well.
んていうか
I
こん
just
な頼
felt
み
that
を
you
損
were
得
the
抜
only
きで
one
聞
who
い
would
てくれるの
entertain
は
this kind of request.
君だけだと思って
Without needing to weigh all sides.
適任ですから
That's why I
と
insisted
強
it
く
be
推薦したわけ
insisted it be you. Sure, sure. Thanks. In other words, he knew she wouldn't say no. Oh god. You jerk. You jerk, you.
山城先生
Mr. Yamashiro.
うわ
Oh
怖っ
dear, would you stop
もう
glaring at me
睨ま
like
ない
that
睨まな
already?
い
At least
言っ
put
た
a
ろ
smile on your
僕に
new
はともかく
schoolmate.
とまあ納得してくれた
Look,
なら
if you're agreeing to
すぐ
help,
に移
we
動し
should
よ
go see him.
うもう
We've
随
already
分
kept
待
him
たせて
waiting
しま
long
って
enough.
る
He can wait a little longer. Teacher is a troll. Listen, he can wait a little longer.
それと雨の
Because
中
you
ご
braved
苦
the
労
rain to
様
get here, I'd be
帰
happy
り
to
は
give
も
you
ち
a
ろん
ride
車
home.
で送るよ
I don't know if I want to get in the car with you, buddy. I don't know if I want to get in the car with you, you know? I don't know if I want to get in the car with you. Mr. Yamashiro stood up gracefully. I'm good. Thanks, she replied, before turning and walking out of the faculty room. She's like, out of my way. I'm not doing this today. He had been waiting for about, oh my god, this poor man has been waiting probably out in the rain for an hour. Like, whole on hour. Oh my goodness. While he did, the rain shower lightened into a drizzle. His mind wandered as he listened to the sound of the raindrops. The room was filled with neatly arranged rectangular tables. He was the only one there. Quite some time had passed since he had been brought to this room and asked to wait. Even the best-behaved student might have grown dissatisfied or anxious with the situation by now, but the boy stuck to his spot like a scarecrow. He was chilled to the bone. It was the end of November, and the low temperature in the morning had marked the start of winter. Why is he wet too? Did he not dry himself off or have an umbrella? Like, is he just sitting here in this room, like, dripping wet and cold and shivering? The room was not much. That's because no one's here, buddy. The room is not much warmer because no one's here. We've all decided collectively that we weren't going to come into school except for me. I was told I had to come here for your sake. I don't even know what I'm going to do. Am I just going to, like, show him around the school? Like, here's the cafeteria. Here's your classroom, you know? I mean, it's not even like an American school where it's like in American schools, like the students rotate classrooms. It's like in Japanese schools, the teachers rotate classrooms. So it's like, what am I going to show them? Like, here's the gym, you know, here's the gym, here's the cafeteria, here's your classroom. Okay, that's the end of the tour. Like, I don't know what they want from me. They're just rage baiting. Seriously, it really is a rage bait. Hey, Cerberus, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. The heater hadn't been turned on. Either he'd missed the teacher telling him to turn it on, or he'd never seen one in his life, or you know, my thought process was the heater isn't on because there's no one here at school. Like, why are they spending the money to heat the school if it's a day off for everyone, you know? I guess everyone's just gonna have to, like, you know, wear a jacket. He breathed lightly on his freezing fingers as he aimlessly surveyed his surroundings. This dreary place was apparently a meeting. This dreary place was apparently a meeting room. He's like, God, this is so disgusting. All they have are cheap foldable chairs. The other students might have considered it a wonderful place to meet, but to him it was drab and overly spacious, probably because he's the only one sitting in there. It was a lifeless place that reminded him of an arid cave. What? Stuck in this cold room with absolutely nothing to do, his mind turned to what they wanted to discuss. Unable to come up with a solid answer, he returned his attention to the sound of the rain. What? Who wanted to discuss? Okay. The rain hardly resembled the rain in the mountains, though he could still recognize it, barely. The smell and sound were harsher, but at the end of the day, rain was still rain. So, even this world, alien as it was, could have something in common with the mountains. Oh, shoot! Okay, wait. I don't know if this is one of those things where it's like he's grown up in the mountains, so he's not used to living here. Or I wonder if he's like something supernatural. That's weird. That trivial detail perked him up a little. Oh, that's freaky. I'm going to assume that like maybe he just lived in the mountains. It's like a super rural kind of thing. But we're still in the mountains because the protagonist talked about how it's like we live in the mountains, which is why it gets so cold. He liked how the town looked soaked in rain. Naturally, he preferred sunny weather, but he liked the rain in its own way. The fog from the rain had soaked up the scent of soil, and it reminded him of home. It was at times like these that he was able to numb the anxiety the city gave. Oh, okay, he's from the city. Oh, okay, so he's a city boy now living out here in the rural country. Gotcha. But then he let out a discouraged sigh. How pathetic. He'd already been here 2 weeks, and thoughts of his hometown still made him sad. Perhaps feeling that he was being unfair to his new life, he composed himself and continued to wait patiently. As if having a passion for distractions, his attention turned to the sound of the rain much more. He looks like, and I say this like tongue-in-cheek, he looks like a generic visual novel protagonist as well. I kind of like it. It's like, he and the protagonist, just from what I've seen, look like they could be like opposite genders of each other. I kind of like it. I will say, I don't remember if this is like a thing in Japanese schools or not, where I thought in Japanese schools the tie color of, either the tie color represented what grade level you were in, or the tie color was the same for males and females. I think it's interesting that I think they said that he's a second year just like I am, but he's wearing a different tie color than I am. And so I just don't know if maybe this is one of those schools where it's like the males only wear like a blue tie versus the females who only wear a red tie kind of thing, like a red bow tie kind of thing. But I thought it was like the color of your tie or like the design pattern of your tie indicated like the grade level kind of thing. Anyways, Waiting like this didn't seem to be particularly hard for him. He quietly endured the numbing cold, and the hour alone with calm, deep breaths. As the saying goes, good things come to those who wait. A strong point of his or not, he was astonishingly patient. It was certainly helping him out in this moment. Oh, okay. I'm on my way. She, on the other hand, was livid, as she should be. The profile of the transfer student had been explained to her on the way to the meeting room. She was told he had lived his whole life up in the mountains without any electricity. Oh, wait, are we in the city? Wait, he said that he's been in the city, but so if he's lived his whole life up in the mountains, is he now living in like the city? I still thought this was like a rural kind of city town kind of thing, because we live in in a mansion up in the mountains. That meant more than half of civilized society would have been an utter mystery to him. What a miserable level of isolation. How is this even possible in post-war Japan? See, like, Robinson Crusoe. Oh, okay, so this is 80s post-war Japan. Okay. She had every right to be angry. His village had apparently remained isolated in the mountains for many years. Contact with villagers in the foothills of the mountains only occurred once a month or so, which was unfathomable in modern Japan. Okay, so I wonder if I live in like a city, but I live on the outskirts of a city in like a mansion. I wonder if this guy comes from the same village that I saw in like the opening before we hit chapter 1. Although expressways and the Japan Rail of the old national railways now span the country like arteries, it wasn't entirely impossible for mountain villages like his to exist. Okay. But she couldn't imagine how someone born to such circumstances would think or live. Oh my gosh, so mean. When you say no electricity, you mean in general, right? Like, he must have had access to a public phone. Apparently not. He mentioned how shocked he was by the phones when he started living here. Oh my god, he really is a little country bumpkin. He's a little country bumpkin. Just a little country bumpkin. I kind of like that. I think that's kind of fun. Just a little country bumpkin, little bumpkin. I will say what I think is kind of fun with the country bumpkin is like hearing this makes me think of like Finon from Honkai Star Rail, purely because it's like we think of Finon as like the hero of heroes, but when you think about it, he's also a little country bumpkin. Like, he's just a little country bumpkin. I love the, like, a little country bumpkin, like archetypal, where it's, like, they really just don't understand. I can only imagine, because we don't actually get to see it in-game, like, how shocked Finon was at the concept of, like, time and, like, you know, teleslates and stuff like that. It's like, he really did live in a little farming village out in the middle of nowhere, so it's like, this guy is coming from the same place, so it's just a little farming village out in the middle of nowhere, like, stuck in the mountains. He's like, what's this? He flicks light switch. What sorcery is this? It's a light bulb. It's electricity. Oh, what newfangled magic hath you summoned? I kid you not, he said. Wow, telephones are so useful. Couldn't really deny that, could I? She shot a sidelong glare his way as he laughed. It seemed that the naivete of the country boy had cheered up Mr. Yamashiro a bit. See, I love that. I can't even imagine never interacting with electricity. Same here, because even the Amish, like, even the Amish people, so if you're American, you'll know what the Amish are probably, but, like, even the Amish have, like, basic electricity in some functions. Like, even they have, like, basic electricity. It's just that they minimally use modern technology. But, like, I can't imagine, like, genuinely having, like, no access to, like, anything modern. I mean, you know what, though? I'm gonna put this out there, and this is gonna be really gross. But you know what this implies, too, is if he's never interacted with modern electricity, he's probably never used a modern toilet. Now, again, I'm not sure, like, what the state of toilets were in Japan at this point in time, but, like, my gut feeling is if he lived in a rural mountain village, his toilet was probably a chamber pot or a hole, like, that was, like, you know, the communal, like, bathroom hole kind of thing. if he doesn't know what electricity is, there's no way he had like nice systematic plumbing. Yeah, dirt hole. It's like he's got the chamber pot that he's got to empty, which probably was one of the most magical things this like country boy could have experienced, which was, oh my god, central plumbing.
They
probably didn't have police officers either.
My
family home is up in the mountains, so it's not inconceivable that they wouldn't have electricity. But he doesn't even know what school is. Homeschool! Nope. We heard of them, but this is apparently his first time visiting one. Maybe that's why he's nervous. He wasn't very talkative. He's almost, what would you call it? Feral. Like a boy raised by wolves. Suppose that makes this a safari. Not funny. Hey, you're scaring me, Ozaki. Ozaki. I was joking. Go easy, okay? And don't worry, I got the feeling when talking to him that he's a nice kid. He's almost like, I don't know, a cute animal that doesn't speak human. He's just a little puppy! Your jokes and metaphors aren't helping. As she gave her blunt reply, she tried to simulate in her mind what life without electricity would be like. But the thought of it took her sour mood from bad to worse. After all, it was a world she had never known. She could understand why the teachers had given up. She, too, wanted to give up and return to her warm bed, but her good-for-nothing pride was holding her hostage. Not only did teachers believe she was up to the tasks, but she also believed she could do it. It wasn't that easy to go back on her word, no matter how bad things looked after the fact. She walked along the hallway, the rain pattering on in the background. The meeting room was already in sight. With a furrowed brow, she mixed her long hair in anticipation of meeting the unknown stranger within. Her elegant strides were like those of a confident general going into battle. This is like kind of gross for me to say, but like I really do like this like background CG. She does look like she walks with confidence. It's like, yes, queen, go for it. Ozaki, I believe that you and all, but I'll say again, be nice, okay? Can you at least try to smile? I'm bad at faking smiles, but I'll do my best. Really? That's a relief. She walks in and she's got like the worst grin known to man. It's like she just like clenching her teeth. She's like, hi. It's like one of those like straight smiles like you see in cartoons where it's like, and she's like clenching her teeth and like looks super awkward. Her eyes twitchy. She's like, it's nice to meet you. Teacher's like, I thought you said you were going to try and smile. I am smiling, Teach.
I
really mean it. It's good to know you're not good at everything. Rude! You're not supposed to say that to me! Mr. Yamashiro's shoulders slumped the second they reached the meeting room. As he put his hand to the door, his eyes seemed to say to her, be nice. Please. This only made her more irritated. I already know I'm not the friendliest looking person in the world, but I can't just make myself smile at a drop of a hat. You should have asked Tobimaru if that was what you were after. She sighed about her social shortcomings, but then it occurred to her that being called into school on a day off while sleep-deprived wasn't anything to smile about anyway. Girl's so true for that. Girl is so true for that. Oh my goodness. Girl is so freaking true for that. Love it. Love it. She had also thought the person responsible for this mess would be better off attending elementary school. It might not be his fault, but neither was it her duty or obligation to do the teacher's work for them. Yeah, it's not my job. Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do this? It wasn't my fault. At the very least, they could have used their brains and organized all this on a normal school day. Another complaint she wanted to voice later. There's gotta be a reason they're doing this on like an off day. She's so mean that no, honestly, she deserves to be this mean. She deserves it. I would be messed up and upsetty spaghetti too if I had to come in on an off day when I was tired to meet like just some country bumpkin kid. I'd be mad AF too. She's kind of valid for this.
Yeah.
I hate him already. He's my sworn enemy and I haven't even met him. Sorry. But I couldn't care less about his extenuating circumstances. You think this is awkward for me too? Honestly, why did this have to happen when I'm so busy? A pounding headache from a lack of sleep had boosted her aggression by 10%. Only 10%? Only 10? I love it. No matter how harmless the guy is on the other side of the door may be, anyone who disturbed her sleep was the enemy. Honestly, valid. Valid. Just as she was reaching peak annoyance, Mr. Yamashita opened the door to the meeting room. The room slowly slid into view. She didn't care for formalities. Just looked straight ahead and stormed into the room. She opens the room like, "Excuse me!" and found herself face to face with the most unusual opponent. Oh? Before we go on, let's see from another perspective. Turning back the clock just a little. Oh, we're getting it from the boy's perspective? You don't have to do anything. For some, these words are a priceless luxury. For others, they are unbearable torture. You know what I just noticed? I think he has bandages around his neck. I don't think I clocked that the first time I saw the CG, but it looks like he's wearing a collared shirt and then he's got like bandages wrapped around his neck. Like he was injured. Huh. For the proactive girl, it was most definitely the former, though she'd be too suspicious of the motives of anyone giving her such a gift to accept it. For the passive boy, it was definitely the latter, a bitter thorn that made him homesick, though at this very moment, his mind was still distracted with the wait for his face to reveal any discontent. He maintained perfect posture as he stared at the gray sky. He had already waited a whole hour, but figured they must have had their reasons for making him— No, they didn't have their reasons for making him wait. The reason for making you wait was because I had to get my butt over here to school on my day off. Boy, it wasn't even. It wasn't even. They didn't even have a reason. It was just me. And as long as he had the sound of the rain to soothe him, he could keep on waiting. But it must be 9 o'clock already. Yeah, that seems about right. He had been vaguely keeping track of the time as he listened to the rain. Due to the holiday, the school building was completely silent, except for the patter of the rain on the window. The mood felt as damp as the air. It was then he heard the heavy clatter of footsteps approaching. You just hear her like stomping down the hallway. She's like, "Can't believe they made me come in on my day off!" Bam, 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 bam. The door violently flung open. You hear that like you know the clatter of like.
Hydrate.
Thank you for the hydrates, Haru. Ow! Rude. It's good to see you. How are you doing? Thank you for the head pats. I was going to say what my thought process for that was like, you know, like Japanese media where it's like a student council president will like throw open the like sliding door. It's like sumimasen kind of thing. It's like, and it clatters like kind of thing. I want there to be like that kind of sound as like the door like clatters open and he turns around and looks at her. He's like, "Oh, you? Finally. I thought they'd forgotten about me." No, I don't even know. He could hear 2 sets of footsteps. One heavier set belonging to an adult. One heavier set belonging to an adult. He breathed a sigh of relief as the door slid open. Sorry to keep you waiting. The first person he saw was a man wearing glasses and an awkward smile. And you told me to smile, Mr. whatever your name was, like Yashihiro or something like that. Like, you told me to smile. And you were out here with the awkward smile? What am I supposed to do? That's Mr. Yamashiro. Not Yashihiro, it's Yamashiro. The one who brought me here. Hey, where's Mr. Satonaka? I told him to keep you company. He shouldn't have left you here. Mr. Yamashiro scratched his head, looking increasingly apologetic. And then, from behind him, with a tight-lipped expression that made it clear she didn't want to be there, a dark-haired girl with a determined look in her eyes appeared. Yeah, he does have bandages on his neck. What's up with him? Everyone in the school is a rage bait. Look, listen, this is a school of professional rage baiting. That's what they teach here. He does look like a protagonist and I love it. Shojuro gulped. The sound of the rain on the window faded into nothingness. I think I'm in love! That's when he knew. This was how it felt when time stood still. I love that, like, the narrator basically told us this wasn't a romantic story, but I'm choosing to believe that this is it's John Protagonist! We love John Protagonist! Don't make fun of John Protagonist, he's perfect. John Protagonist has just fallen in love with, what do we call female version of John Protagonist? Because it's like, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say Jane Protagonist, but what do they call female protagonist? I don't know. Oh, her eyes are pretty. Okay, I do love that it's very, like, I love this design because it's very clearly, like, generic kind of, like, long brunette hair, you know, school uniform, but the eyes are so beautifully piercing. I love it. Is that John Witch on the Holy Night? It is! It is John Witch of the Holy Night! He's the goat of all protagonists. She blinked quickly a few times as if taken aback. Why is he attractive? Why is she attractive? Why is this turning into a love story? Narrator, why is this turning into a love story? Why was anyone's guess? She's in love. The boy was everything she expected a naive country boy to look like. However, she felt something she couldn't understand. It's called love, baby girl. He really does give off John Protagonist. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of what, I've got a friend, Kumomomomomo, who is playing through Digimon. He reminds me of what, her protagonist in Digimon looks like. I don't know if she got to choose, like, if she got to, like, customize the protagonist at all, but, like, his appearance reminds me so much. Yeah! His appearance reminds me of John Kumomo. Of John Kumo, which I think is hilarious. I see this design and I go, oh, it reminds me of Kumo's protagonist. I think it's super funny because I enjoy watching Kumo stream that. His eyes widened slightly as if taken aback. In a game you're thinking, okay, yeah, so his appearance is fixed. Okay, so it really is very, like, protagonist. The reason was obvious. I like that, like, for females and males, it's a different protagonist look. For males, they have to be, like, short-haired black, and for females, it's, like, long-haired brunette. That's how you know it's a protagonist. Putting this feeling into words was a different matter altogether, so we will never know exactly what he experienced in that moment. Aren't you supposed to be the all-powerful narrator? Do your job, narrator-sama! I want to know his inner thoughts. That's when it hit him. He sensed he'd been touched by the hands of destiny. It's fate, I tell you! Allow me to introduce the two of you. This is the transfer student I mentioned. Sojiro Suzuki. And this is the girl that will be showing you around. She's my student council president. Came in on her day off to welcome you. Her name is Aoko Aozaki. Oh, Aoko Aozaki. Okay, Aoko. That's a cute name. They're about to fall in love. His voice at the sound of the rain seemed distant. This is how they first met. Such was their start, for better or for worse, like the ephemeral beauty of fireworks. This story's gonna end in tragedy. I'm calling it. Never ends well. This story's gonna end in tragedy. It was commonly believed among the students that Aoko was always in a foul mood. But this gossip was 90% prejudice, as Aoko simply didn't have time to be irritated 24/7. The reality was she simply didn't want to explain herself all the time, and therefore seemed angry about something, obvious or not. This idle gossip did, however, lead her to earning the title of one of the school's 7 deadly threats. I love that it's like she just doesn't want to be bothered, so she just constantly seems like she's angry because she doesn't want to be bothered. Honestly, girl, I kind of feel that. You know what? I'm kind of here for that. 7 deadly jets, GG. It's good. No. If I'm one of the 7 deadly threats, I'm on the winning side. If I can get her on my side, I'm about to win. We're about to take down all the 6 other ones. The remaining 10% of the gossip was right on the mark. Aoko herself often had the feeling that her tendency to feel animosity towards harmless things was akin to what a chronic headache sufferer might experience. She's like, I can't with you stupid people. I can't. Today fell under that 10%. For today, her anger was pure, and her childish and selfish display was befitting of her actual age. She's allowed to be a child. Sometimes she's allowed to be like a teenager. I love that. The meeting room was dimly lit, awash with the colors of the rain. To reduce electricity costs, school regulations forbid the use of lights during the day. This was the setting the three of them found themselves in. It's a cold, dark... Oh, no, he looks so much better in the cutscene. In the close-up CG. Oh, now I'm sad. I really like the way he looked. Now he kind of looks like a dweeb now. Her first impression was that his calm demeanor reminded her of a field of wildflowers. In spite of his perfect posture, his overall air felt placid, tame even. And though describing him as meek would be going too far, I guess, yeah, you're right, he does look very meek, you're right. At the very least, he was passive. Even through his uniform, she could see that he was thinner than average. His dark hair was unkempt, and he came across as a wholly forgettable boy. You know, they're not wrong. He does look he does look like he was intentionally designed to be, like, quote-unquote, wholly forgettable. I kind of like that, though. If she had to look at him in a more positive light, she would describe him more as a young man than a boy. It was his calm demeanor that made him seem more mature. Was that the cause of Aoko's reasonless reaction? He seemed almost too at home in the meeting room, and she was left with the impression that it was her and the teacher, not this outsider, who were the guests. Well, that's what happens when you leave a man in a room for an hour. Like, when you leave a man in a room for an hour and then you're the one who comes in, I mean, yeah, you kind of are the guest at this time. Oh, she's adorable. She felt an unidentifiable aggravation building within her, almost as if her right to be here was in question. I love this. Aoko felt herself raising her natural defenses. What's with me? Am I really this angry for no reason? She hated not understanding things, her own emotions in particular. It pained her less than you would imagine for a perfectionist like her, but it still nagged her like a thorn in her side. Aozaki, why don't you introduce yourself? Mr. Yamashiro's attempt to relieve the tension was equally irritating. Introduce myself, huh? After casting a nasty glance in the teacher's direction, Aoko turned to face the boy. From an outsider's perspective, it might have looked like a stare down. And in that instant, the culmination of her emotional state hurled towards the innocent boy and skewered him. Oh?
Yeah.
Again. Sorry for the wait, Suzuki. Hearing his name, Sojiro came to his senses. His stunned gaze shook loose. He took a deep breath to clear his head. Chalking it up to nerves, Mr. Yamashiro broke out a smile and turned to the girl standing beside him. I'll do the introductions then. This is the transfer student, Sojiro Suzuki. And this is our student council president, who came here on her day off just to show you around. Her name is Aoko Aozaki. Having been introduced by Mr. Yamashiro, the girl took a step forward. Her eyes were merciless. Her stare, an unspoken threat to violently trample her opponent. I love how unsettling her eyes are. Like, the color is so vivid compared to the rest of her color palette. I really love it. Sojiro, on the other hand, managed to keep his own composure, despite the shock at how confrontational she appeared. It's like, he's getting stared down by like a demon. He's like, it's fine. I can keep it together. He had never been greeted quite like this before, but supposed, mistakenly, like this was how people treated each other in the city. The exchange must have looked quite dramatic to an onlooker. The girl ready to brawl. An earnest country boy desperate to understand. It was a murderous limbo, especially for anyone in the room with them. Like Mr. Yamashiro, for example. Well, he had thought he might have made the right decision in choosing an honor student to help him out. She was in an inexplicably bad mood. And the tension in the air was undeniable. You really did choose wrong. Like, you could have chosen anybody else. Nope. Like, you deserve this. You deserve this for choosing someone who, like, does not want to be here. It was at that moment he realized his failure. As you should. His realization had come far too late. One false move, and this girl, for whom no problem was too large, would become a storm that would rock the very foundations of the school. Oh, okay. Just as the almighty Joker card could bring either fortune or disaster, the sole teacher who had been present at the time would come to bear the blame for the scandal that ensued. Oh my god, we're going to fight! We're going to fight! We're going to cause mayhem! I'm so here for it! I'm so here for it! Wow, you two really seem to have... He says you two seem to have hit it off as we're death glaring at each other. Love that. Abso-freaking-lutely love that. I suppose I can leave you two to it then. He just wants out. So rude. He's like, I'm done. I'm going. I'm done. Mr. Yamashiro laughed nervously as he crept towards the door. He's like creeping away. He's like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I gotta run. I'll be in the faculty room. Stop by when you're finished. Bye. You'll be alright, won't you, Aozaki? You're the student council president. Just don't let me down. And he like runs away. You jerk. Mr. Yamashiro left, leaving the two in a lock-eyed state, one in which one set of eyes was doing all the glaring. Listen, I gotta make up for all the glares I can do, you know? I gotta make up. I gotta really let my eyes pierce. All that remained in the room was an artless boy and a cross-armed, guarded girl. I'm kind of sad that this isn't going to turn into a romance. I feel like this could be like a really fun romance, like an uptight student council kind of girl, and then like a kind of naive country boy, and it's like her slowly teaching him like how to adjust to the new city and like guiding him through school, and they slowly fall in love. Like, I feel like that'd be like really cute. The two lingered in silence. They resembled shogi players, analyzing over their first moves, though it was only Aoko who was reading so much into the situation. I love that it's like Aoko is like fully immersed, like she's like, he is my opponent. I will end him. I will show you, show you this truth. And then it's just like the boy's like, why is she looking at me so meanly? She decided to put her irritation to the side for the time being. With no reason to feel revulsion for him in the first place, she sighed deeply and faced Sojiro. Whatever. It's not like this is the first time that Mr. Yamashiro landed me in it. So, what's your name again? Her tone was nothing if not reproachful, though he had done nothing to offend her. But the boy failed to pick up on it. Incapable of such venom himself. I'm Sojiro Suzuki, he replied. And you're Miss Aozaki, right? For whatever reason, he came across happy in his response. Drop the miss. That's not my style. Is Suzuki fine? What do you mean? What do you mean, what do I mean? I love it! He's so confused! He's so confused! I love it! He's like genuinely so confused, trying to figure out what's going on, and I absolutely adore it. He's like, what in the world is happening? What is this? I'm so here for it. Hello? Did I say something weird? Yeah, very. The boy replied immediately, as if it was a natural response, but quickly second-guessed himself. Never mind. That must be normal here. You could call me Suzuki. Do you mind if I call you Aozaki? Suit yourself. She followed her blunt reply with a swift turn away from. She's like, I'm done now. You've bored me. Go away. I'm done. You have outlived your usefulness. Go. While she was hardly thrilled at the prospect of the task at hand, it had been entrusted to her, and it was her personal policy to see it through to the end. Sorry, but I'm not in the mood for pleasantries. Time is short, so let's get it over with. Sure, I know your time is valuable. Aoko's blunt rancor was lost to him once again. I love that he's so wholesome. He's so wholesome, and I love it. I think it's adorable. It's very clear that like it's like she's just like trying to tell him like leave me alone. I'm not doing this at all. But like, oh my goodness, he's so sweet. He's such a precious innocent man indeed. I absolutely love it. Like it's like, oh my god, he's such a like gentle soul. He really is. I'm so here for it. Humans tend to be overly conscious about being ignored, whatever form it takes. But despite being peeved at landing none of her attacks, Aoko did her best to act professional and directed her guest into the hallway. Oh, okay. There was no sunlight in the hallway, nor signs of life. It was more like a prison than the cave that was the meeting room. Oh. As it dawned on Aoko that the hallway matched her mood, she sighed once again.
まず聞いておくけど、山城先生から
Main
聞いた
things
ことは
first,
理解して
did you understand everything Mr. Yamashiro explained to you?
ああ、学校の仕組みについては
Yes, I
分
get
か
how
っ
the
た。
school works.
この建物全部に同い
But
年
it's
の
still a
人
bit
間
hard
が
to
いるなんて
imagine that everyone here is around the same age.
そう、よかったわね。
I see. Great. Aoko rubbed her forehead. The Shojudo kid had no idea what he was in for. Apparently, all he'd heard about school was that it was a place where a lot of people met to study. That's all he knows! Oh my god. Wait, that's kind of wholesome that that's like all he knows. That's like actually kind of adorable. It's like all he knows is just a little bit that he's like, it's a place where the kids come together. Is there supposed to be more? Is there supposed to be more? High school teachers imparted to students their knowledge in various fields of study while fostering discipline and creativity. But never did Aoko imagine that she would have to explain the concept of school itself to someone. Yes, fundamentals were important, but this was very absurd. She had serious doubts whether he could even handle classes, but Mr. Yamashiro insisted that things would work out someday. Sojudo had managed to pass the transfer exam after all. Barely. What do you mean, barely? What do you mean, barely? What's that supposed to mean? Oh god, the poor boy is just like he made it in by the skin of his neck. It's like your handwriting is atrocious. You don't know anything at all. But I passed, right? You did pass. Not my problem. Aoko grumbled mentally as she walked down the hallway. She consoled herself with the fact that today would be the only day she'd spend with this boy out of time. Or at least, she tried to keep it that way. Oh, girly pop, you don't even know what's about to hit you. You don't even know the storm that is brewing.
Aozaki.
Aozaki? He asked calmly, trying to get her attention. What?
こっちも一つ
Can I
聞いていいかな
ask you something?
だから何？
Yes. What is it?
俺の気のせいだと思うんだ
I
が
could be wrong about this,
君
but
はまるで
you seem
何かを睨んでいるように
upset
見え
about
る
something.
やはり
You're
今朝
not a
は
morning
悪いもので
person,
も
are you? His gaze revealed earnest concern, as if asking if she'd remembered to eat her breakfast. That face she just made! Oh my god, that face was just a face of like, That face was so good! It was like another hammer to her head. Oh my god, this face! It was true that Aoko had been glaring at Sojiro the entire time. Glaring red-hot daggers, in fact. Not just at him, but the universe. Even on her best days, her roommate used to remark.
青子の視線は普
Most
通の
people
人
can't
にも
handle your
厳しい
scowl, Aoko.
もう少し
It wouldn't hurt you to be a little more tolerant. She'd been warned that her emotions were so naked on her face that people treated her like a powder keg. How naive could that boy be to not know? How naive could the boy be that he could not pick up on this?
私をバカにしてるっ
He's not making
て
fun
わ
of
け
me,
じゃな
is
さそうよ
he?
ね
No,
この場合
he couldn't be. Even she found her own attempt to assuage herself unconvincing. It began to dawn on Aoko far too late that compared to her, this layback transfer student might as well have been from another planet.
いいわ
Look, let me spell it out for you because you're just not getting it.
あなたの気のせいじゃなく
It's
て
not your imagination.
私は視
I
線で
am
遠
angry,
回しに感
and
情を
anyone
表
can see
現し
that
て
in
た
my eyes. It's
いちいち
easier
声
than
に
trying
出
to
す
make
の
conversation.
会話
In response to her words, the Marathon clapped his hands together.
なるほど。
And that makes
どうして
sense.
そうしたいの
I
かはわ
don't
から
know
な
why
いが
you'd want to do it that
確
way,
かに
but
そっ
I
ち
get
の
that
方
it's
が手っ
faster
取
way
り
to
早い
express
し
yourself. Sojiro accepted her reasoning without argument. Though, he still had no idea what kinds of emotions she was trying to express. It was as if he could hear the words, but didn't grasp the meaning. Ideas that should have that could have connected were instead separated into blocks.
確かにずれてるわ
It's true.
こいつ
He really is peculiar. Mr. Yamashiro's words made sense to her now. What was odd about this boy went way beyond naivete. A stranger in a strange land he may be, but it was not only civilized to forget. But it was not only civilized to forgive him some jet lag-induced confusion.
じゃ
Let's
とり
visit
あえ
your
ずあなたの
classroom.
教
She had regained her composure. Sojiro raised his hand and stopped in his tracks.
あと
Just
一つ。
one more thing. Oh? Alko waited for Sojiro to continue. The boy was patient to a fault. She rubbed her forehead with her head again, nursing a vague feeling of uneasiness.
これもちょっとした
I
疑問なん
wanted
だ
to
が、
ask,
なんで
why are
君
you
は
so
怒って
angry?
るの？
Oh god, he's poking the proverbial bear.
怒るのが商売と
Is
か、
it your line of
そういう家柄の
business?
人なのか？
Is it your line of business? Or does it run in your family? That face! The face of, I cannot believe you just asked that. Keep it together, don't punch him. Don't punch him, don't punch him, don't punch him. I love this. A long silence. She's like, I'm gonna refrain from not punching him. I'm gonna take a deep breath. Though she knew it wouldn't change the situation, she remembered her regret at answering the phone that morning. He meant no harm. She repeated this thought like a mantra in an attempt to keep her impulse. She's like, she means no harm. He means no harm. He means no harm. He meant no harm.
別にあなたの
It's
せいじゃ
not
ない
you
から
if that's
気
what
に
you're
する
worried
人
about.
ただ
I'm just
この
trying not to think how much better my day
お
would have
昼ま
gone
で
if I'd
眠って
slept
い
in
た場
until noon. With that vague answer, she started to walk again and turned her gaze away from this rude stranger named Sojiro Suzuki. While what constitutes normal is clearly up for debate, most would undoubtedly refer to him as so. He was simple and a nice boy, with nondescript features. If he were an ice cream flavor, he would be vanilla! Oh, my baby! And Sojiro and Sojiro found Aoko to be very businesslike and full of life. There was a certain purpose to her movements, as they began and ended in orderly fashion. The way her fingers raised when she pointed at things. The way she made her way across the hallways and classrooms. The way she would occasionally glance back at him to make sure he was keeping pace. Each and every movement was so impressive that he couldn't take his eyes off her. He's falling in love. So this is love. Aoko showed him to his homeroom Class C of the 11th grade. The room certainly displayed more of a human touch than the previous meeting room, but Sojiro was none the wiser to its function. Aoko gave a brief explanation before they visited individual subject classrooms, as well as the gym, cafeteria, locker room, and school infirmary. I just realized if he really has been living like under a rock, there's absolutely like no way that he knew what a cafeteria was, which is kind of a crazy thing to think about when you think about it in like retrospect. It's like that's a crazy thing to think about, him not knowing like what a cafeteria is. Sojiro asked so many questions that so much time passed before they reached the AV room on the second floor. Which I feel like AV room would have to be explained to him, considering he's lived under a rock for so long.
まずいな。
Oh dear. Sojiro stopped, looking genuinely
あと
concerned.
20分経つと1時だ。
It's 21 already. 20 to 1 already. Huh?
嘘でし
You're
ょ
kidding, right?
うちの
This
コースは
course
そ
is
んな
that
広
big.
く
We'll
な
be
いわ
done soon. The tour had begun around 10, which meant that 3 hours had passed. That's crazy. That's crazy. They've been walking around for 3 hours? Jeez. A tour of the school shouldn't took anywhere near this long.
そうだったわね。
Maybe if you didn't ask so many questions, we'd be done by now. It's a miracle it's still light out. Aoko glared at Sojiro. She was being sarcastic, of course, knowing full well he would never pick up on it. Is he? To her surprise, he looked down apologetically, unable to hide his dejection.
なんだこいつ。
Oops, I think I broke him. The guy before her now was nothing like earlier. In contrast to seeing his once impertainable veneer when they first met, she found herself feeling sympathetic. Momentarily, at least, until her irritation returned. She's like, I kind of feel bad. He looks like a kicked puppy. 2 seconds later, never mind. He deserves it.
で、何がまずいの？
What's the hurry? Don't tell me your brain's not big enough to remember all this stuff.
いや、それもあるけ
Well,
ど、
there's that.
学校のことは
But
別にし
it's
て、
more about it being
1時になると思う。
1 o'clock. Shojiro Yudo's gaze wandered as if worried about something. If he was worried about the weather, he would have a hard time seeing it, as there were no windows down this hallway.
へえ。
Don't
時
tell
間を
me
気にするって
you've
ことは
got somewhere
用事があ
better
る
to
の。
be.
そう。
That's perfect.
人の予定を
I
引っ
take
か
time out
き
of my
回
day
し
for
ておい
you,
て、
and
自
you don't
分
have
だ
the
け好きな
decency
よう
to
に
even
や
hang
ろう。
around.
なんだ。
You're a
顔
real
に見
piece
合わ
of
ず
work.
いい人
You
ね。
know that?
いや、褒めても何も出ないぞ。
Oh my god, his response face! It's just he's got a thanks, I guess. That's nice of you to say. Oh my god, I love this!
誰も褒めちゃ
That's
い
not
な
a
いわよ。
compliment! She yelled at him, unable to hold back her fury.
で、
Well,
で、
well, what?
それで、
What's happening in 20
何の用？
minutes? Sojiro's face lit up as he finally understood what she was asking him.
そこは秘密にしておきたい。
You dragged me through all of this just to tell me it's a secret? He said with a perfectly straight face.
慣れ始めたつもりだったけど、
Every time I think I've
こい
got
つ
this
の
guy
こういっ
figured
た
out,
テンポには
he
失
finds a
神
way
し
to
そう
trip
な
me
の。
up. Her frustration was natural. Still, she did everything she could to stifle her feelings and fake a smile.
しずきくん、
You want to repeat that, Shizuki? She took a step forward.
秘密だってば。
Like I said, it's a secret. Feeling the mood change drastically, Sojiro took a step back. And another. And another. This whole town is full of little rage baiters. I know, seriously! He's not even from here and he's already learning how to rage bait! This school of rage baiting really works fast! No matter how many steps he took back, she kept edging towards him. She was smiling, but he thought he could see the blood boiling beneath her skin.
これ、最後の質問にしとくわね。あなた、
Do you enjoy
私をからかって楽しい？
mocking me? He had no intention of mocking her, though at this point he doubted presenting any evidence to prove this would do much to erase that forced smile on her
わかっ
face.
た。
Let me explain. His arms raised in surrender. She halted her advance and freed her face from that unseemly smile.
実は1時か
The
ら
truth
アル
is
バイ
that
トがあ
my
るんだ。
part-time job stiff
でも
starts at
ここ
1.
はそういうの禁止なんだろ
Students aren't allowed to have jobs, right?
そうだけど、
Yeah. Wait, were you
禁
being
止さ
tight-lipped
れてる
because
か
you
ら
thought
秘
to
密に
get
し
in
ようと思
trouble?
ったの？
All you have to do is get permission, dweeb.
知ってる。
I know,
試験の時
and I
に
did.
許可をもら
I
ってる。
got permission when they accepted me to the school.
へえ。
Really? Aoko's face lit up as she realized he might not be the piece of work she thought him to be. He's about to do something that proves he really is a piece of work. Yet.
しかし、
But I only got
許可は
permission
一つ
for
しかもらえなかった。
one of my jobs. Wait, you have more than one
一つって
job?
これでも
Well,
2件
I
減らしたん
quit
だ。
two of them.
生活費だけで
Living
大変
expenses
な
are
のに
bad enough, but
学費まで稼
now
が
I
な
have
くち
to
ゃいけ
earn
ない。
money for school as well.
なの
Don't
に
you think it's
働き先は
unreasonable
一
for
つだ
them
け
to
という
only
のは
let me work
無理
one
だ。
job?
いや、あ
No,
んまりなのは
I think
あ
you're
な
the
たの
one
方だ
being
と思う。
unreasonable. Though still irritated, her opinion of him changed a little. She was impressed that he was able to take care of his tuition and living expenses all on his own. It's probably because he's got no one else. Like, he came to the big city all on his own with nothing but the clothes on his back. She could also empathize with having no time to oneself. Her anger began to subside. The words part-time job were the last thing she expected to hear out of this country boy's mouth.
そういうことなら仕方ないわ
You
ね。
gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
いいわ。行
It's
きなさい
fine.
よ。
You can go.
事情は分か
I
った
get
わ。
it.
青崎はいいのか
Will you, be okay? She had no idea what this question meant, but she at least understood he was trying to be considerate. which also took her by surprise. She figured he'd be just about as dense about people's feelings as he was about everything else.
別に
I'll be fine.
私もこのま
I'll
ま
just
帰
head
るから
home. First, though, she thought it best that they both stop by the faculty room. She's like, I got it. First, before we go, I gotta give that teacher what for. Mr. Yamashiro had mentioned that the transfer student procedures had already been completed, so all that remained for him was for him to sign off on her duties.
先生
I finished
I'm not
showing him
worried,
around. I love how pissed off she looks.
それはお疲れ
Great
様
job. That goes for you
し
too,
ずきくんもお疲れ
Suzuki.
様
What did you think of her school?
ありがとうございま
Thank
す
you for the tour.
なんという
It's
か
like a real school.
そう
That's
か
great
そう
to
か
hear.
うん明
Okay
日から
then,
頑張りな
best
さ
of
い
luck starting tomorrow. She had no interest whatsoever in this pointless wrap-up meeting.
山城先生のことは
You'll
気
have
に
to
しないで
forgive
いい
Mr.
わ
Yamashiro.
教え子に
He
厄
liked
介
the
なこと
faculty
を
room
押し
so
付
much
け
he
てふん
chose
ぞ
to
り
kick
返って
back
い
there
るぐ
while
らい
getting
職
his
員室
students
が
to
好
do
きな
his
んだ
dirty work for him.
何時間でも
I
待
bet
っ
he
てるで
spends
しょ
hours in there.
いや待ってるべ
Actually,
きじゃない
that's pretty smart of him. she's like so close to getting out of the school. She's like, I'm almost out of school. I can almost go home and back to bed. I'm so close to getting home back to bed.
そうか
Okay,
青
Aozaki,
崎がいいんなら
if you're fine
いいん
with
だ
it, then so am I. Look at the way he's looking at her. He's looking at her like so sweetly. She's looking like if this was a different game, I would be like, this is such a tsundere. Like it's not like I like you. It's not like I'm paying attention to you or whatever. Like leave me alone or whatever. And it's just the guy that she's crushing on. Like, of course, don't worry about it. I will do anything I can to help you. Don't worry about it. I've got this. It's so sweet. With that said, it looks like we've got an ad break coming in the next few moments, so please use this opportunity to get a drink, get a snack, stretch your legs. Dense, sweet, innocent boy ex tsundere mini pants. I love that trope so much. I love it so much. I'm going to use the restroom really quickly, so when we get back, we will continue on with this game. I'm thoroughly enjoying this chapter. I'm so sad that I won't be able to stream my entire reaction to it. I think I'm gonna go up to the point that they say is allowed, so, and then I'll drop it there. But like, oh my god. It's so good. So if you want to watch the rest of it, you'll have to find somebody else who with a VOD who decided to stream the whole thing, because there are definitely people who have, but I think I'm gonna stop where they ask you to stop. So I'm super excited though. This is like really, really fun. Alright, with that said, I'm going to use the restroom really quickly and I will be right back. Thank you all for your patience. Alright, I'm back from the bathroom. Thank you all so much for your patience. I do appreciate it. Hey, Peter. I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. It's good to see you, Peter. Oh, thank you for the hydrates. God, I just came back from peeing. I don't need to pee again. Thank you for the stretch.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Stop it, you guys. I'm gonna need to pee. I'm gonna need to pee. It's a curse thing indeed. Me being like, I'm gonna need to pee. It's gonna be horrible. Don't make this to me. Oh my goodness. I swear, it's like, unfortunately for all of us, it's like, there's some streamers who are like, yeah, I can go for like, you know, 3-4 hours, you know, just sitting streaming and totally easy peasy. And then there's me and I'm like, yeah, I need the ad breaks. It's like, why? Because I need there to be built-in moments to remind me that I'm allowed to go to the bathroom. Like, I'm one of those, like, horrible streamers. I'm like, yeah, I drink so much liquid while I stream that I'm like, I'm like, I have to go pee now. And it's not even like I actually have to pee, it's just the feeling of needing to go to pee. I'm like, I just feel like I need to pee, so I'm not even an official PTuber, but I'm a certified PTuber. I've got that PTuber on lock. I'm telling you, man, the PTubers would love me. I'm just constantly needing to use the restroom to pee. And it truly is because, like, I'm very hydrated. I keep myself very hydrated purely because a lot of what I play is, like, visual novels. So it's like, yeah, if I'm going to do a lot of talking, yeah, I'm going to keep myself hydrated, you know. I'm going to keep the cord lubricated. I'm going to keep it lubed. Anyways, welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. Let's get back into this. I'm thoroughly enjoying the story. I'm waiting to see where again, it's called Witch on the Holy Night, and I don't know if, like, that has anything to do with anything, but I'm waiting for the supernatural stuff to start happening, especially because I know that the narrator isn't human. Or I assume the narrator isn't human. Anyways. Okay, Alzaki. Okay, Alzaki. If you're fine with it, then so am I. I love that me and her both, There it was again. Whatever Sojuju, whatever John protagonist was getting at, Aoko had no idea. I'm going to get going. Thanks again for today. Yes, today only. She shooed him away with her hand. His face bent into a broad smile, as if he found the gesture endearing. It was a softer expression than she had grown accustomed to seeing out of him. It was the kinds of smile that would make anyone smile back, except for her. Well, most people at least. Ako Aozaki didn't betray the slightest hint of a smile. She's like, maybe for the rest of you, but not for me. Hey, the big 40! Thank you so much, Peter, for your 40 stream streak. We're so happy to have you. See you later. Huh? You can't just leave me like that! Rude! And with that friendly farewell, Sojiro walked towards the end of the hallway. Or so she thought, before he turned into the class over. What? Did he just... Sojiro headed straight for one of the classroom windows. Whereupon he opened it with ease. What? The chilly November air filled the room as the soft sounds of rain doubled in volume. Wait, not only that, he opened the window? What? In that instance, she realized his intention with opening the window. She really wished she hadn't. No! Stop! He already had one leg out the window when she dashed to stop him. What do you think you're doing? What am I doing? I'm leaving for my job. That's what. Did you get in through the window? Are we on the second floor? Oh my god, good lord if we're on the second floor. What in the world? You do know that the window isn't an exit, don't you? I mean, do you know what floor you're on? She saw the light of understanding dawning. Oh my god, this idiot was just gonna go full out the window. This idiot was fully prepared to fall out this window. Oh my god. I almost died. Who would put an exit here? This is dangerous. What do you mean an exit? It's a window, for God's sake! It's the lack of something between your ears that's dangerous. Her insults went right over his head. People here don't normally enter and exit through windows, okay? You should probably remember this information for future reference. Oh, I know. Just wanted to save some time. But thanks. I'll be more careful from now on. What the fudge? He pulled his leg back inside and closed the window. His school uniform was soaking wet from the rain. Hey, be my guest. Go outside any way you like. Just don't do it in front of me from now on. Anyways, you start school tomorrow, right? Yeah, I'm a little nervous though, which is why I came in early for the tour. He bid her farewell before running away down the hallway. She hoped he would walk down the stairs and leave through the school entrance, like a normal person. What's normal? I love that it's like the game has gone out of the way to explain that this guy is like as normal can be, and then he tries to leap through the window. It's like, that's not normal at all. I wonder if he really is going to be okay from here. The image of him disappearing into the distance popped into her head, in spite of her ire. She had no intention of spending any more time with him, and yet she felt strangely anxious. She couldn't tell if the feeling was fueled by concern or irritation. Why had she even gotten angry with this insignificant transfer student in the first place? A strange day with a strange transfer student resulting in strange emotions. Her head tilted as she reflected on what should have been a more enjoyable day than an irritating experience she just had. Whatever. It's not as if I'll see him again. She says. She says. Oh, girlie, I think fate's got some games in store for you. The sound of the rain echoed quietly all around her. The gray sky seemed frozen in time. It was impossible to discern whether it was morning or evening. Mr. Yamashiro and Mr. Aoko were likely the only ones left at school. The unlit classroom looked overly gloomy and ominous as Aoko stood in it alone. She pulled up her left sleeve. Her dainty, unremarkable watch showed that it was almost 1 o'clock. He was right about the time. They did say in the scene that we saw with him, like, alone in the classroom that he's very time perceptive. Like, he was able to tell it was an hour despite there being no clock. She looked out the window at the grounds below. She saw a boy in a uniform, running through the rain without an umbrella. A sight she must have seen before, but for whatever reason, affected her far more than she wished. Aoko did not stop by the faculty room before heading home. While Mr. Yamashiro's offer to drive her home was tempting, she decided it would ultimately be far more satisfying to ruin his day, just as he had hers. I love the spite. That's so good. The spite is so good. I'm so here for the spite. She walked as quietly as she could towards the entrance and opened her bright red umbrella. As she had predicted that morning, the rain was waning in the afternoon. At this rate, it would probably cease completely in an hour or so. The distant sunshine would have likely reached her by the time she arrived home. Well, I suppose it could be worse. She shrugged her shoulders in resignation. She neither liked nor disliked rain, but she found herself enjoying her walk home with her red umbrella in hand. The teachers at I finally got the high school name. Misaki High School weren't fond of bright colors, so Aoko's red umbrella was an unusual sight. A ghost story about how the umbrella was once pure white had been making the rounds, but it featured Aoko instead of a ghost. It was with that umbrella that she made her way towards Misaki Station. Right, she said she took the train in. Misaki Private High School took its namesake from the town it was in. The area was once a sprawl of farmland and woodland, but rapid growth over the last 10 years had led to unprecedented modernization. Big words! There were some who fought to preserve Misaki's natural treasures. I agree in principle to preserving the land, but not at the expense of our prosperity. With those words, the mayor snuffed at the voices of the minority and ushered in a long-term plan for new urban development. Ooh! More than enough funds for the urban development were collected, and the unassuming town of Misaki became the largest municipality of Misaki City in nearly 10 years. Even though it lacked the modernity of neighboring Yashirogi, or the elegance of Misaki Hills. What did people expect? To keep the town hidden atop the mountain forever? It's not like they were gonna flatten the mountain or something. Oh, okay. Urbanization had been contained to the lowlands around the station, with most of the hills and mountains still standing as they did 10 years ago. Okay, so there is a town at the bottom of the mountains, and then where we live, our mansion, is in the mountain range in the forest of the mountains. Okay. The exhaustion of funds succeeded in protecting the old Misaki where the citizens could not. It became a truly odd suburban town, welcoming an increasingly urban population, with its vestiges of old country charm. It's kind of cute. Misaki High School was a private school, established long before the town's current state. The original campus, built 50 years ago, was located high up in the mountains, making its current location its second incantation. incarnation, I think is what I meant to say. Incarnation. It does. It feels nice and cozy. It's just a little cozy town, you know? Nothing bad happens here, you know what I mean? Nothing bad's gonna happen here. The path to the old grounds was not only steep and remote, it had become an overgrown game trail with the passage of time. For these reasons, among others, Misaki High School had been shuttered until almost 20 years ago, when it received a donation from a department store chain that allowed the construction of a new campus in the city. And thus, Misaki High School reopened its doors, the old woodland campus forgotten. In fact, most of the students attending Misaki High School were not from Misaki at all. The hardy rustic people of the country town preferred prefectural schools to private ones. Truth be told, Alko herself was one of them. All she had wanted after junior high was to move to Tokyo, where she hoped to spend her days touring her favorite bands on the way to entering a public university. Okay, yeah, so that does make sense. That she does like music. We saw with the guitars in her rooms. But her hopes were dashed with her sister's departure. So here she was, walking alone in town, with only a red umbrella to keep her company, on what should have been a day off. Oh, I wonder if her sister is dead. And I thought Alice may have been family, but maybe Alice isn't like a sister. Looking back on it now, it's like my whole life has been one disaster after another. Her frustration evaporated in the cold December air. Oh well, at least it's not boring. With those words, her mood brightened a bit as she left the school in her wake. The busier part of town met her at the bottom of the gently sloping road. Ow! Mean! Rude! Hi, Zuko. Hope you're doing well. Misaki's train station was brand new. Once, looking no prettier than an abandoned factory, it had been renovated into a multi-purpose structure with huge department stores on its east and west side. I'm putting this out there. I don't know if these are meant to reference actual things, but Yunkyu, unique fashion, reminds me of Uniqlo. Uniqlo, which I think is kind of funny. I don't know what all of these are references. There's something angels. And then Baines. I want to go to Baines. Take me to Baines. Let's go to Baines. Baines. When the department store first opened, Alko and her friends had been impressed with their modern feel. But in time, the stores too became dated. She had no shopping to do today, so she passed by them. We don't want to go to Beans? I want to go to Beans! Oh my god, wait, can we go to the soup store? I want to go to the soup store! What she really wanted to do was rest at a cafe, but she fought the urge, knowing her roommate would never let her hear the end of it if she frittered away her money. Oh? Why is there a heartbeat? What's going on? She looked back and blinked. For just a moment, she could have sworn she saw someone in a suspicious red dress in the corner of her eye. What the? I didn't see anything. Wait, what? It must have been her imagination. The sixth sense chill she was experiencing down her spine was a familiar one at this point. She continued her walk home, brushing off the event as if it had never happened. Oh god, I don't like the rhythmic beeping. It's so unsettling. In time, the chill faded, and all that was left was the sounds of the town. She sighed heavily. Had she imagined it? Even if it had all been in her head, she was far from comfortable with the feeling that still lingered. Even mosquitoes have the grace to buzz off eventually, she grumbled under her breath. Whether good or bad, this too shall pass. So the saying goes. Yeah, got enough on my plate as is. Unfortunately, summer and bugs go hand in hand. Luckily, it's December! She could see how bugs could be drawn to all the sweet fruit. Oh my god, is this my kitchen? Wow, this is like a restaurant kind of kitchen. This is like a restaurant kitchen. Yeah. Rank with grease and heat, the kitchen was closed for the time being. The lunch rush had come and gone. But one last battle remained. Dinner time. Only after the evening chaos could the kitchen crew remove their white apron and call it a day. In the midst of the war zone was a lone newcomer.
これ
Do
着るん
I
ですか
have to wear this? You know what I think is actually really fun is there's a content creator who makes like they make like I think that's called like I don't remember what the name of the guy is, but it's like he makes like a day in the life of insert Japanese job here, and they're very informational. It's really cool. Like he'll interview and follow through the daily like schedule of like a Japanese worker, and it's like anything from like something you think like stereotypical salaryman to yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. What I thought of when I saw this kind of like the dinner rush whatever is there was one where he was, I believe it was an okonomiyaki worker. But it was particularly like okonomiyaki on the like grill top, so it was like performance kind of thing too, so they make it fresh. But one of the things that he pointed out that I thought was very interesting was because they have to come in so early and they spend the whole day there working, like from like the lunch rush to the dinner rush, and then they clean down at the end of the night. What they said is that the way that particular restaurant worked was that in the middle of the day after lunch rush, the owners actually encouraged staff to take a nap, and the staff were allowed to like nap in the booths of the restaurant like seating area. They were allowed to nap in between like the lunch and dinner rush, which I thought was really kind of cool because it's like I think in America the way it sometimes works is that there's a different people for lunch and dinner like rushes, or if you have to stay the whole time, you're working the whole time. Where in Japan, it's like they're open from this time to this time for lunch, they close down, and then they're open again from this time to this time for dinner. And so I thought it was really cool that they like actually encourage their employees to like, you know, take a rest in the middle of the day so that when the dinner time comes, they can perform, you know, optimal service, which yeah, it's like Paulo from Tokyo. Yeah, it's so good. I thought it was like really, really cool. It's like super, super cool, just a lot of the videos, and I really appreciate just the style of the video making and how it really does take you through like the life of, you know, what it realistically, like what a realistic day is. I think it's really cool, but that's what I thought of when they heard the like, you know, the dinner rushes to come. I was like, oh man, he needs his midday nap. There was one he did for a manga artist, and I later found out, wait, what? It was for the Rent-A-Girlfriend mangaka? That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh no, Zuku, 100%. I love listening to it as like second monitor content while working. It's so good. There are several that are really, really good. One of the ones that I really enjoyed actually was in a day in the life of like a pachinko worker. I thought that was fascinating. There was like a whole like episode about like pachinko, and they talked about like what pachinko is, the history of pachinko, how it's, you know, technically legalized, and it was a fascinating listen through because it wasn't just like, you know, here's what this guy does all day, but it was like, let's give the history of pachinko, let's explain why it's so culturally prevalent. I was like, that's a really good video. I really like the food ones too. I like when it's like the day in the life of insert like a food worker here. I think that those are like really, really interesting. Yeah, for US restaurants, generally speaking, there's no breaks between switching morning, afternoon, evening. Yeah, it's like, I think it's like they rotate shifts, and so it's like usually there'll be a different like person on shift for the like the lunch rush versus the dinner rush. Yeah, meant to give enough time on business. Yeah, used to work in a restaurant. I was gonna say yeah, because it's like usually the server kind of, it's like as a server, it's like you'd have the your shift time usually is like a larger chunk. Where in Japan, I think that it's like chunk and chunk. Which I, honest to God, it's like, I understand like the need for uptime, but like, I kind of do think that the Japanese one is smart as well. There are several places around where I live where it's like, they do like, they're closed in between lunch and dinner, which does make a lot of sense. And I think that because I live in a place where there is a lot of like foot traffic, it's like, they're able to get away with it because they know that there will be like people who come in for lunch and people who come in for dinner. Like, there won't be, they don't need to like have a like, they know that there will be like a constant turnaround of people. They don't have to worry about like, no one coming in. But I do think it is kind of nice that I do know around here it's like, I think a lot of places close at 3 at the end of their lunch rush, and then they open up again at 5 for dinner service. And I know a lot of places where I live around here also have like separate lunch and dinner menus. For me, I love the day in the life of a cosplay worker. No, you know what was so funny is I was going to bring up day in the life of a cosplay worker, and what I thought was really fun about that too is the first time I saw it, my brain went, I swear to God, I swear to absolute God, I know what this costume is. And then I like fully got a look. I was like, it looks so familiar. Like, it looks like this. I was like, it can't be like insert this. I didn't think it was that popular. It was exactly what I thought it was. I was like, oh my God, I'm living. I was so hyped with that video purely because I recognized the cosplay. I was like, this is so good. Morning shifts fill to start with prep and checking to make sure everything's clean and stocked. Evenings will end with cleaning, restocking, quick things, inventory, etc. That makes a lot of sense. Where it's like morning shift, it's like getting all the prep work done, and then it's like you don't stay the whole time. But the evening shift, it's like making sure things are ready for the morning shift, and like break down, clean down, that kind of thing. No, I didn't recognize the cosplayer, but I recognized the cosplay. It was Yoshiko Tsushima's her special outfit. It is the special. It's not the Fallen Angel outfit that she uses, but it was a special like collaboration outfit that was used for like several collaboration promos. I want to say with 7-Eleven. But it's this like Dark Angel Yoshiko Yohane outfit from Love Live, and that was the reason I recognized. I was like, this can't be. I was like, oh, it looks like Yoshiko, like Yohane from Love Live, but like it can't be that. Like there's a ton of anime and manga out there that are like way more popular than Love Live and stuff. I was like, it can't be Love Live, and then I looked at it more. I was like, oh my God, this is freaking Yohane from Love Live. Like this is actually something I recognize. I was laughing. Word of advice: never work Sunday double shift. You're asking for it. Working a Sunday double shift is asking for it because of the church crowd. I'm sitting there going, that's asking for it. I'm putting this out there. I have never worked as a server, but from what I have been told by compatriots, it's like the Sunday church crowd is like the most blessed double-edged sword, because it's like you know that you're going to have a crowd and that they will tip, because again, in America, most servers live by tips because they don't pay, servers a wage, they subsidize it with tips, but you know that you're going to get a pretty good chunk in tips. The issue though is that the Sunday church crowd, from what I've been told by compatriots who are servers, they're either like really nice or like the nastiest people you're gonna have to interact with, which is just like, ugh. I used to do regular doubles on Sunday. It was hard, man. A lot of them are very kind, remember tip you well. Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of them are kind and they will remember you and they do tip well, but I have been told that there's also, depending on where you live too, some of them, it's like you just kind of have to grit your teeth and bear through it because they expect that you are, and this is again a generalization, but sometimes this crowd, there are people who expect that like they are the only table in the restaurant, and it's like, no, all of you came after church, like we have to, balance everyone, so like just please be patient, exercise a little patience, you know what I mean? But I've been told that it's like, it really is, from what I've been told from my friends, like Sunday is like the double-edged sword. It's like you'll be tipped well, but it's a lot of work, and sometimes people are like, If I've ever worked in a restaurant, I just know that their food will have a couple spits. Here in the US, we're definitely deep shit approved. Yeah, I was gonna say, honest to God, if we in the US could legally get away with like spitting in food, 1,000% people would be spitting left, right, and center. No. Mix it in with the sauces. Listen, you can do that in like media, but let me tell you, in the States, the amount of money you can make off of a lawsuit like that, there are 1,000% people who quite literally, their only pastime is trying to like get people to like, spit in their food, because the amount of money you can make from a lawsuit like that, being the victim, is insane. Which is a testament to, kind of how weirdly broken our legal system is. Not so much that like, yeah, if someone commits biological warfare against you, you deserve compensation, but the fact that, yeah, tampering with food is a big thing on legal and financial. Exactly, yeah. It's like, I'm not saying that like laws should not exist to like, prevent tampering, because yeah, if someone does tamper with your food, that is a huge thing. However, what kind of sucks about the legal system of the US is that people can make that a job. They can quite literally make trying to get people to tamper with their food, so they can take them to court, part of their job, which is just really sad commentary on kind of how broken the American legal system is at times. What can you do? Places around here close at 6 p.m. for the day. Dang, no dinner for Kaede. No dinner for Kaede. But nah, man, I'm gonna be real here. I'm genuinely gonna be real here. While I fully know that, like, legally, it's like, I don't have to worry about people spitting my food because, like, you know, that's a huge legal liability kind of thing. It's like no one wants to open themselves to that kind of lawsuit. There is a part of me that always gets nervous when I have to, like, ask for extra things, or, like, if I have to, like, I try to be polite about things, but, like, if I have to ask for extra things or extra clarity or, XYZ because I do have allergies. I always hope that, like, I'm not being, like, too rude or too much of a pain in the tushy. It's one of those where it's like, I do know, it's like, I am one of those people where it's like, usually when I come in, it's like, I know what I want to order because I know what I can and can't eat, but I'm always afraid, like, when I ask if things can be, like, omitted, or if things can XYZ because of allergies, like, I'm being a pain in the tushy. I'm also kind of afraid that, like, the chefs are, like, cursing me behind their back, and the thing, they're like, God damn it, they want substitution this, substitution that, because again, like, chefs, they curate their menus, they don't like substitutions, but usually my substitution is like, can I get this without, like, you know, this one topping, or can I get this without this because I'm allergic to that topping, and I always hope I'm not being, like, too much of a pain. They get paid by the hour, trust me, they don't give a shit, makes no difference. I'm good! I always get nervous. I'm like, I just don't want to be like a super problem child, because, you know, it's like, I've seen people talking about XYZ on the internet, you know, things come up in your feed, and I'm like, I just don't want to be that. And their wages are livable as well. I mean, true, Zuku, true. I'm gonna dip this burger in sink water is strong. Just a Krabby Patty, burger in sink water. But I try to be, like, as upfront as possible to make a server's life as easy as possible. Like, if I know I'm going to be splitting the bill, I try to tell them, like, right at the beginning so they know. Like, I try to be very upfront about my dietary restrictions, like, upfront. And, like, and usually because I do know, like, it's like, my dietary restriction is not one that's, like, is, like, you know, the stereotypical, like, oh, like, I can have a little bit. It's like, I can't have anything. Like, I'm very, like, I cannot. So when I go in to order, I usually have an idea of what I can and can't order, and so when I ask just to double check to make sure, like, it's okay, it's like, usually I already know, and it's nothing that has to do with, like, my restrictions, so it's like, you know. But I always worry that, like, I'm being annoying. I'm like, I'm sorry if I'm causing you inconvenience. I don't mean to be the problem patron. I've also been told that depending on server, whether or not you should stack your dishes, because I know that, like, some places, some people, some servers on the internet have been like, please stack your dishes, like, it makes it easier for us, and other people are like, don't do that, like, there's a specific way, like, I have to stack it for balance, you know, for me. And so I always get very nervous, and, like, I always ask, like, would you like me to stack your dishes? And you'd be surprised how servers, chill servers are. No, I'm gonna be real here, I don't think I've ever had, like, a negative server, well, that's a lie. I've had a few negative server interactions, but I always chalk that up to, you know, maybe just another table was being an asshole to them, and they're just, you know, tired and whatever. But, like, I always ask them to, I'm like, would you, you know, prefer it if I stack my plates? And often, usually they say no, like, and I always hope that, like, they're saying no because they, like, you know, prefer stacking it themselves a certain way, and not because they're like, oh, you're the customer, you shouldn't have to do that. Because it's like, I don't mind stacking my, you know, plates if it makes it easier for you, but, like, but it's like, if you're one of those servers who, like, prefers, like, you know, not to have things stacked because there's a certain way you want to do stuff, it's like, I totally get that too. But it's like, if I can make your job a little bit easier, like, I'm happy to do that. Like, I don't, can you tell that, like, I don't eat out often too? I'm like, it's fine. Or they just sucked. Had one I worked with that jumped on tables and screamed at customers. That's crazy. That's crazy. I always just assume, like, I give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, I just assume that if, like, someone's a little bit rude or they're snappy or they're kind of, like, cold, I just assume that, like, something else earlier in the day or someone else, like, another table's kind of, like, running them ragged, and it's like, it's not me. Her biggest sin was not sharing tips with her busters. You're kidding! Wait, that's crazy. Like, I get it. Like, you know, like, the communal tip pool is kind of a pain in the tusho. I get that, you know, in some cases where it's like, you work hard, you get a good whatever. It's like, you know, that's disgusting. That's like, if her busters are doing that work, they deserve to be tipped out for that. Because, like, they're not getting a livable wage either. Like, that's gross. You know what's really sad nowadays? And this is actually what's really sad. When I go to any place nowadays, like around where I live, and I go to like a new cafe or a new establishment, what's really sad is what I've started doing, and this is like a really disappointing thing that I've had to do, is I have begun, when I place an order, if it's someplace I've never been to before, I will lean in and whisper and ask whoever's taking my order, and this is like what makes me really sad. If I tip you, do you get all of the proceeds of the tip? And what makes me really upset and what makes me really sad is when I get a response of, no, we do not get, you know, the full product of the tip, or no, the tip goes to the owners, or no XYZ, or that's what pisses me off. At establishments that I get told, like, by the people, like, no, I don't receive a portion of the tip, or I only receive half, I don't tip at those locations. I don't. It's like,
hydrate.
It's not worth it. Hey, Cos, thank you for the hydrates. Is it illegal? I wouldn't know. I think that there's something to the effect on a federal level. Well, based on what the employees have told me, I've asked, like, you know, do you get all of your tips? And when they tell me, like, no, I don't get tips, I'm like, okay, then I'm not gonna tip. I'm gonna be real here. I'm sure there's plenty of businesses that aren't following that. It's just whether or not anyone catches and enforces them, which is kind of a shame. But it makes me very happy when I ask and people respond like, yes, we do get 100% of our tips, which is like, good. Now I will say, these often aren't restaurants. These are like businesses. Yeah, now keep in mind, tip pooling is legal. Yeah, tip pooling is legal, yes. Which may be what is happening, is that all the tips go into a pool. But again, what I'm talking about too is not necessarily restaurants. It's like businesses when you go into them, and think like a McDonald's, not like McDonald's, but like think like a restaurant, like not a restaurant, but like a cafe, or like someplace that, like, you know, you get like a service and then they ask you if you want a tip. You know, where it's not like a sit-down kind of place. I always ask in that response, like if I'm signing on like a keypad, like getting a coffee, like, do you get your tips? Because if you do, you know, I'm like, okay, you know, I'm, you know, that's fine. But if you don't, like, I don't want, you know, the tip to just go to the owner. Which is, you know, is what it is. Because there's a local little cafe that I live next to that I'll occasionally get like a sandwich from, and I have been informed that, like, yes, both the tips that go into the jar and the tips that are done via the electronic register all go to the staff working there, so that makes me very happy. As someone who doesn't live in the US, tipping culture is crazy to me, because if you live in the Philippines, tipping is not heavily enforced. You tip. Yeah, unfortunately in the US, tipping culture is required for people to get paid a living wage, and at the same time, it is a pain in the tusho, because half the time they're asking for tips on things that I genuinely do not think that people need to be tipped on. Yeah, tipping culture sucks, and the fault lies with the law allowing below minimum wage. That's really what the problem is. Yeah, no one is forcing you to tip, Zuku, which I totally agree, but at the same time, I believe that a server deserves a minimum wage. I believe that, like, whoever is getting paid or whatever deserves to be paid a living wage, and if you don't tip, they don't get a living wage. It's bad. I think the average minimum wage for average wage for a server without tips, like, if you did not give them tips, if they made no tips the entire night, $3.25 an hour. The American minimum wage is $7.25, I believe. They would be making $3.25 an hour, which is absolutely crazy. I tip 100. Well, good for you, Manu Kuma. You're keeping the servers in business. But it's absolutely crazy. And again, I think that genuinely the fault of tipping culture lies in the fact that they're expecting customers to pay their employees' wages instead of expecting the business to pay employee wages. Because genuinely, I do not think people would have a major problem if businesses raised their prices and said, hey, you don't have to tip anymore. Like, genuinely, I don't think people would be upset if there was, like, an increase in the price of food, and then you were told, hey, so you don't have to tip, you know, you don't have to tip at the end of the meal anymore. You can just go. Like, it's good. Yeah, it's an outdated law for a different economy. It never updated with us because the businesses realized they could make a lot of profit off of it, which is Welcome to America! That's America! I'm going to tip the one who made the coffee. Yeah, I see videos of coffee shops in the US, like the one who took your order, asked for the tip immediately when they take your order, like, so I'm sorry. Yeah. And here's the thing too, Zuku, with the way that tips work for American coffee shops like that, the tip is pooled. So whoever is manning the register is usually manning the register for their entire shift. You know, maybe they get a little bit of a break, but they're manning the register for their entire shift, and the baristas who are working are usually manning the, like, barista and the coffee making for their entire shift with minor switching off here and there. So when you tip the barista who's at the register who is not actually doing the coffee making, you are still actually tipping every single person working there because the tips are pooled. Theoretically, they should be pooled. So everyone gets a cut, even though, like, someone was stuck on the register for, you know, the entire shift. So that's kind of the way that it works with coffee and whatever, but... But I'm gonna be real here. Sometimes they ask me to tip for self-service stuff, and I'm like, what do you mean self-service? I'm gonna be real here. This may be unpopular opinion. I'm a buttonhole. I don't tip on takeout. I don't tip on takeout because my kind of hot take is like, if I'm the one who's going into the place and placing the order myself and then taking it away, why should I tip? I'm not spending anyone's time. The kitchen is still getting paid. Like, the kitchen is still, you know, going to make the order anyway. Like, that's my thing though, because most of the time it's like when I get takeout, it's, yeah, they should tip you. Yeah, I'm doing them a favor. If they tip me, I can tip the servers then. Good Lord. It's like, I'm the one doing the work. The restaurant should tip me so that I can then tip the servers. But that I know that that's an unpopular opinion, but my personal thing is I don't tip on takeout purely because I'm not getting a service. I'm the one doing everything. And a lot of the restaurants that I go to nowadays, it isn't even like you go to the hostess stand to make an order or you like talk to a server and they place the order for you. No, most of the times nowadays you go to a kiosk in the back and type your order in and then you sit off to the side. Why should I tip if I'm the one putting my own order in? Like, like, genuinely, why should I be the one tipping if I'm the one who had to walk back there, who had to type my own order in, and then I had to wait for it, and then I had to serve it to myself and go and leave? Like, again, and it's like, and for that matter, I don't know where those tips go. If it's tip pooling, you know, if the tips are pooled and tip pooling is available at the restaurant, like everyone, you know, it's fine, like they're going to get it, whatever. However, you know, it's like if the tips are not pooled and it's just whatever everyone makes in tips is what they make in tips, where does that tip go? Does it go to the, you know, the bussers and the dish cleaners and the kitchen? Or does it just go into the owner's pocket? Because if it literally just goes into the owner's pocket, it's like, well, my cost of food is going into the owner's pocket too, so like you don't need even more. But yeah, I would say I believe usually it goes into the tip pool. I believe that most restaurants go into a tip pool, but at the same time, if it's going to the tip pool and I'm the one who's taking my dish away, I deserve a part of the tip pool. If I'm doing the job of taking it away and delivering it to somewhere else because I'm taking it out of the restaurant, put me in the tip pool. I deserve a little bit of the tip pool. Yeah, service equals tip. That's kind of, yeah, no service equals no tip. And that's kind of my kind of go-to. So a lot of times when like, if it's like there's some places where it's like you get all the stuff yourself, put it on a tray, and then someone checks you out, and then they'll still ask for a tip. I don't tip at those places either, because I'm like, I'm the one who's doing all this. I do tip at my local coffee shop. I know some people are like, you don't need to tip at the local coffee shop. I do purely because I go there often, and so it's like, I'm more than happy to tip at the place that I go often, you know, support a local business, because I like my local coffee shop. It's really nice. They do sandwiches. My local coffee shop does like sandwiches, and they're so tasty. The sandwiches are so freaking tasty. I'm not the biggest fan of their pastries and their like sweet stuff. It's just a little too expensive with what they have, and there's a major cross-contamination risk. So that's kind of a bummer for me because I do have a major sweet tooth, but the sandwiches are so tasty. And they have really good cookies. The cookies are like huge for the price, and they're very delicious, and it's like always a gem. Apparently they've recently started this cafe has recently started doing post 4 p.m. they do ramen. They do Korean ramen, which I've always wanted to try, but I've just never been out there like past 4:30 p.m. But I've always wanted to try the like Korean ramen that they serve at the end of the night. I'm like, oh, that's fascinating, because I usually go like at lunchtime and get a sandwich. It's like, yeah. But I love it since like they've got like I get like a little bit of like they do a lavender London fog, which is something that I really enjoy. And so it's like I'll get my lavender Earl Grey or my lavender London fog, and then I'll get like a sandwich, and it makes me very happy. I'm like, I'm content for the rest of the day. I got my sandwich. They do a really good roast beef sandwich. It's roast beef and brie. Oh, it's so tasty. It's so tasty. It's, oh my god. And the reviews online say that the mac and cheese is really good. I've never had it because it contains an ingredient that like I can't eat, but the mac and cheese has like rave reviews online, so like I'll take it, you know? I will take it. Oh my god, okay. Thank you guys for letting me ramble. That was my Ariel Yambles through the damble. Ariel Yambles. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give us a short little ad break just to kind of get us back through this. So it'll be just like a little minute ad break. Maybe. Just so I can reset. And when we are back, we will continue on with the game, and this will decrease the amount of time for the ad at the end of the hour when it normally is. So thank you all for your patience. I'm just gonna let the yes, English hard. Get the yammers out of my system. Ow! Oh, I hit my knee. Oh, I hit my knee. Oh, I hit my knee. That's just an ouchie pouchy. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. We're good. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you all so much for your patience. I appreciate it. We are now back. Let's actually continue on with the game. So maybe I'm not gonna finish chapter 1 today. It's like chapter 1 takes like, they're gonna tell me, they're like, Ariel, why did you spend 4 hours on chapter 1? It takes like an hour and a half. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Do I have to wear this? His voice was uneasy, betraying how new he was. I know how you feel, man. Feel the same. Fortunately, it's the boss's orders. You have to suck it up, okay? Future of this shopping arcade is at stake. Apparently. I hate to ask, but the raid has stopped, so would you mind going out for me? Just get back in one piece and I'll buy you dinner. What do you mean, get back in one piece and I'll buy you dinner? His bright orange co-worker clasped his hands together as if to beg for forgiveness as he saddled him with this unreasonable task. What the fudge? Oh my god, look at that. Oh my god, look at that incline. Oh my god, look at that incline. I'm not climbing that. Oh my goodness. 10 years ago, Misaki City was a town of farm and woodlands. But everything had changed. The front of the station was now lined with tall, multi-story buildings, and the residential areas were similarly full of apartment complexes. The once rustic scenery around the station had long become a thing of the past. No! Oh my god, you know what it reminds me of? In San Francisco, there are these like impossibly long hills that like quite literally you have to like prep yourself to drive up. Like you can get stuck and end up rolling back as a car. But in like San Francisco, there are these like incredibly like steep hills. It's crazy. Isn't that the city from Kill la Kill? Inuzuka was the only place in the city that still contained vestiges of the old town, like a pocket of the past inside an urban jungle. The road extended up a conspicuously high, yes, seriously, conspicuously high indeed, to an old residential district far from the hustle and bustle of the train station. Long ago, it had been considered unwise to build on high ground, so nobody lived above a certain elevation. Look at how a moment of humanity's arrogance and against nature. Seriously, like, we deserve it. Oh my god, but you know what's terrifying too is going down those inclines in a car. Like, I'm not even the one driving. I'm sitting in the back seat. But like, the amount of like careful you have to do, because obviously naturally by going down you're gonna accelerate like there's no tomorrow, is scary. Even scarier when there's like a traffic jam, so everyone's like got their foot on the brake, like slowly trying not to like inch their things forward. It's like, oh, imagine it raining or snowing too. Oh, cannot. On the brass side, you don't have to tap the gas. True. True. Just hope that no one hits you or you hit no one on the way down. Oh my god. The asphalt continued for some time, eventually giving way to a mountain road that was swallowed by the cover of trees. A lone vending machine stood to mark the boundary between town and beyond. The single lone vending machine. I just realized, I think this right here in the background, like this right here, I think that's our house, the Aoko's house, because that's like the mansion that's hidden up in the whatever. Yeah, what's up? I never even caught that. I think this would be the perfect spot for a vending machine. Me too. I think this would be the perfect spot for a vending machine. Let's put a vending machine right here. Actually, no, I don't want a vending machine. This is the perfect spot for a trash can. I want a trash can right here. Give me my trash can. I think this would be the perfect spot for a trash can. Perfect spot for a vending machine? Nah, it's the perfect spot for a trash can. Dumb bun me throws away one piece of trash. That's all you wanted it for? Me. Yeah, I'm good. I'm done with the trash can now. Even the children knew that there was nothing beyond the new playground in development, so that enthralled them. Well, that was not entirely true. There was a vending machine! There was nothing besides the haunted house with a vending machine. Can I have the street lamp? No, no street lamp for you. Only vending machines and trash cans. Mwahaha, Paper. I hope you're doing well, Paper. It's good to see you. Aoko Aozaki traversed along the long slope. Oh my god, I walked the whole way up this hill. Before her, she could see the whole of Misaki. I'm putting this out there. She's got to have buns of steel, you know what I mean? If she walked the entire way up this, like, she definitely got buns of steel. The symmetrical town looked like a miniature set from this height. It would look like a painting if there had been a sea next to it, but unfortunately, Misaki City was very much landlocked. With it overcast at the moment, the scene was quite breathtaking on clear evenings. The view was the one thing that made the arduous climb worthwhile, and today she had been denied even that. I'd cycled home if it wasn't for this rain. Even a bus route would be a fine thing. Aoko had been using this road to get to school for almost 2 years now, but the journey never got easier. God, she probably has to like get up. Like we probably left the sweet guy sitting in that room for an hour, because it probably takes me like 30 minutes to get up and down the hill. You know what I mean? Like, it's probably one of those things where it's like, as soon as I got the call, I left, but it's like, it still takes me 30 minutes to get there. Same here. Being sleep deprived and having to go down and back up this entire hill would send me into a frenzy. No, I'd be done by this point. I'd be done. Actually, I'd be done as soon as I got to the school on my day off. It's locked? I guess Alice isn't back yet. With a weary shrug, she put her hand on the rusty iron fence. Quietly, the heavy gate swung open, as if to welcome her home. There, sits atop that hill a haunted house. That is how the story much shared around town used to begin. But fresh rumors about the house had sprung to life, almost as fast as the town's modernization. Despite being dilapidated and abandoned for many years, lights can be seen inside the house at night. An angry murder of crows often gathers atop the hill, before mysteriously vanishing. Children get lost in the fog. never to be seen again. Late at night, a shrieking sound could be heard all the way to town. This particular piece of slander was the one Aoko wished to discredit the most. The final rumor was of an eye-catching luxury car that sometimes made its way up and down the hill. She's sitting here going, dang, I wish I had that luxury car. The rumors spread and grew by the day. And while they grew, the house that everyone thought had rotted away was restored over the recent years. Deep in the wood on top of a hill, no one dared to approach. Like a ruin, shrouded from view, even on the brightest of days, stood a relic out of time, a building from a fairy tale. The house. It does look rather dilapidated, doesn't it? With the Kunoji Mansion. Kuonji Mansion. Everyone in town knew about the witch's house on the hill. It was an unabashedly haunted house where Aoko Aozaki resided, for reasons known only to her. Am I the witch? Needless to say, it was not really haunted. Aww. Don't clickbait me like that. I was told there was going to be a witch on a holy night. The Kuonji family home was a grand Western-style mansion with a long and storied history, stretching all the way back to England. It was too small to be a dormitory, yet too big to be called a house. The main building contained as many as 3 normal houses worth of rooms and was surrounded by a large, all-encompassing courtyard. The perimeter of the grounds was surrounded by a high iron fence covered in thorny vines. There was also an annex to the main building. I did say it did kind of look like a dormitory when I was inside it. I couldn't tell if it was a mansion or not. Given such extravagance, it was no wonder there were inspired rumors. To the town residents, the mere existence of such a lavish and out-of-place mansion on top of a hill was a cause for suspicion. How did I end up here? Like, do I own this place? Like, surely I must, like, you know, have some claim of ownership to this place. Otherwise, why would I be, like, living here? But, like, I mean, what is my relationship? Am I rich? Or, like, am I just living here? Rumors, lies, and slander were the price to be paid for fame. With only 2 lodgers, it was hard to disagree with the perception that vampires must be living here. Well, I know I'm not one. But Alice. She put her hand on the front door. It was a grand double door that would have paired well with a brass lock, and yet it was secured with little more than a simple keyhole. I'm home! Pushing it open with one hand, she entered the supposedly haunted house. And by the way, if vampires were not enough to scare you, ghosts were known to appear on certain nights. Oh! Much like the weather outside, the foyer was overcast with shades of gray. Perhaps by deliberate design, the architect had chosen not to include any light in the entrance area. The ceiling was 2 floors high, so skylight, I assume. Yeah, the only light in the room came from the skylight. It was particularly gloomy on rainy days. On moonless nights, it was like the world itself ceased to be. I love a skylight. Skylights are so pretty. I love a good skylight. You know what I really like is, I like when like cars have a little skylight and then it's raining and you get to look at the rain on the top of the roof of the car. I really like that. Aoko decided the drawing room to the east would be a good place to rest, but knowing that she would not be able to relax until she changed clothes, she started up the stairs. The stairs curled up the wall to the 2nd floor hall. There was a 3rd floor attic as well, accessible from the far end of the hall. She had never set foot in there in the 2 years she had lived here, though. Why? The Kuonji mansion was more or less divided into 2 wings, east and west. Aoko had been given the entire east wing, but 2 rooms were more than enough as far as she was concerned. She had no desire to open a door that would trap you in a storybook world, or lead to an attic that had only been used for storage these last 5 years. Oh, this is my room. Aoko's room was at the end of the east wing's long corridor. She had elected for a smaller room for no other reason than that she thought it would be easier to clean. I've got a pretty good view in this room, though. This is like a really pretty view with like how many windows there are. It's like so open and light. It was furnished with a large bed, her beloved mahogany desk, a wardrobe and chest for her clothes, and 2 9-shelf bookcases. That was the extent of what she'd brought from home. Oh, her entire life, 16 years, reduced to this, Oh, so I wonder if, like, Alice is the one who owns this mansion and I'm just, like, staying here. She'd also borrowed the next room down for her own purposes. Oh yeah, let's check on the watchtower I got from Alice. Watchtower? She needed to see if the project she'd been working on all night had borne fruit. The study next door served as proof of the life she had been living for the last year, and how different that life was from the one she lived before. It was not a room for the person she had been. It was a room for the person she would eventually become, a place of solitude that only she could enter, or so she thought. Wow, I needed a break. Vanished without a trace. Looks like I've still got a long way to go. Go ahead, laugh it up, Robin. The nosy neighbor that had interrupted her upon her sanctuary flew away. My Charmony dove! My little Charmony dove! One day after dinner, I spotted it! My fledgling! While not exceptionally talented, Alco did not lack for effort and was not afraid to fail. One could have almost mistaken her approach for optimism. Oh, that's a cute outfit! Wait, that's so cute! That's so cute! She changed out of her uniform and returned to the first floor. Oh my god, wait, her pants are adorable too! Wait, this is so cute! Down the stairs, she opened the door to the east wing into the corridor, as dark as a cellar. The absence of windows meant that it was pitch black without the lights on, so she flicked the switch and entered the nearby doorway. Oh, it's fancy down here. It's a fancy TV. Life without electricity. I don't even want to imagine it. It had been her idea to update the drawing room. The walls were decorated with extravagant patterns, and around the room were large, majestic sofas, and a luxurious Persian rug. Amidst it all was a 30-inch television that seemed completely out of place. It does seem very out of place, a little TV right in the center. But with that said, it looks like we've got an ad break coming in the next few moments. This will be a shorter one, because we had one earlier. So please, use this opportunity to get a drink, get a snack, stretch your legs if you have not done that. I will be taking a quick bathroom break, and when we get back, we will be looking at this TV, this strange television. Strange television. So, we will be right back momentarily. Thank you for your patience. Okay, I'm back from the bathroom. I'm back from the bathroom. Back from the bathroom. Make myself comfortable in my chair again. Okay. I don't know where chapter 1 ends. I assume I'm getting like kinda close to it, like within the next hour or two, you know, close to the end of chapter 1, but I am thoroughly enjoying this story. I really like the way this chapter is like setting up kind of this, and I look forward to seeing how it devolves into madness, because like I'm sure this is going to like devolve into madness soon enough. I'm just really sad I can't share with you guys my like live reactions to probably the big spoilers that come post chapter 6, which is where they tell you can't do it anymore, and I'm like, no, I would love to show you guys my reactions post chapter 6, but Alas. So let's hope there's not any like weird freaky CGs. Because if there are, I'll just have to describe them to you. I'm like, they're all turned into pudding! They're all pudding monsters! Anyways, thank you all so much for your patience. Welcome back everyone. Let's continue on with the game. It stood looking over the other furniture, like an emperor with no clue. It does look very out of place. It's like, everything else looks like super fancy and then there's just like an old school TV. The mansion's owner would have rather done without it, but to a commoner like Alko, it was an essential commodity. They had fought over its presence at first, but eventually they came to an agreement and now mutually shared this modern comfort. I wonder if Alice is the owner. Yeah, I wonder if Alice is the mansion's owner and she's letting us like live here with us. Only freaky thing here is that thing in the bottom right. How dare you! I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I'm one to talk. I came from a pretty traditional household myself. Now, in a somewhat pleasant mood, she decided to brew some tea. She boiled some water in the kitchen, prepared a teapot, and made herself some black tea. I like these sounds. Oh my god, the tea set looks so fancy. With a flop, she sank into the sofa. She's like, I can't today. They dragged me out. I met a stupid boy. She took a sip of her tea, then another. Oh, I love the way it like transitions from like light and pretty to like kind of gray and mundane. That's like really nice. That ticking clock definitely isn't ominous at all. As everything blurs around me. Lulled by the ticking of the clock, she took a third sip as she pondered how to spend her afternoon. The sofa seemed to be inviting her, and she sunk even further into its comforting embrace. Oh! Is Alice home? Alko blearily opened her eyes as she lifted her body up from the cushions. This was no dream or delusion. At some point, a girl sat down across from her. Okay, and it doesn't seem like this is Alice then. Not the least bit surprised, she reached for her teacup. But the tea within had gone completely cold. Did I doze off? She asked the question to the girl on the other side of the table. Yes. The girl answered without lifting her gaze. Ah! Welcome, Asalo Koda. Welcome. Thank you so much for the follow. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much and welcome to the Bunny Fam. Oh my gosh. I think this is, I assume this is an Alice. I assume it's not. I'm not sure. I'm very confused. Alright. When silent, she could have been mistaken for a beautiful doll. The girl sitting opposite of the sofa was reading an old book. Again, I feel like if this was Alice, we would have already recognized or said it was Alice, so I've got a feeling this is like another third party. She had delicate limbs and pale white skin. Not a hint of humanity emanated from her melancholic aura. Oh, she's not human, okay. She had a darker hair than Alko, and her icy eyes were focused on the pages in front of her. Her clothes resembled that of a nun, but were actually her school uniform. In Alko's humble opinion, the gloominess suited her. Oh, maybe this is Alice then. She evoked something out of a painting. There was something unreal about her, as if she was frozen in time. The white of her gently arched neck was so lovely that even Alko found herself enchanted by it. The girl was one of the haunted house's 2 residents. Her name was Alice Kunoji. Oh, okay, so she is the one who owns the house. She was the same age as Alko. So how did I get to live here? If she's the one who owns this house, so we're staying here. Why are we allowed to live here, you know? Was she just looking for like a roommate? Because like, I don't think we have the money to be able to pay rent, so squatters' rights! How long was I asleep? At least an hour. You'll catch a cold if you keep sleeping here. Alice answered indifferently, Not that it bothered Aoko, who was now used to it. She looked at the clock on the wall and saw that it was already 7. She'd been asleep for 2 hours. The day had been a rough one for her, and she had slept little the night before, so it was no surprise that she had dozed off for as long as she had.
起こしてくれて
You
も
could
よ
have
かった
woken
の
me
に
up.
せっかくの
Now
紅
my
茶が
tea 冷
冷
is
めちゃった
cold.
じゃん私が
I
来
was
た
already
時
cold
は
by the time I
もう
got
冷め
here.
てたでしょうね
I'm sure it was.
行ってみただけ
I'm
よ
just saying. Aoko drank down the rest of her cold tea in one go. She's like, fine, I'll drink my cold tea. I'll show you. Gulp. In the poorly heated, Konji mansion, that was more than enough to clear her head and wake up.
こうなると
Nothing
フォ
quite
ート
beats
ナム
this tea.
メイソンも何
Not
も
even
ない
the
よね
expensive kind from Britain.
おかえりアリス
Anyways, welcome home,
玉の
Alice.
贅沢
The
もあ
universe
ん
seems
た抜きじゃ
determined to
閉
keep
ま
me
らな
from
いっ
even the
てことかし
occasional
ら
luxury without you.
今日は役日か天中
What
説か
about? What is it about
ちょっと
today?
早いけど
Is it my
お
luck
参
or
りって
what?
のも十
At
分あ
this
りかも
rate,
ね
I'm due a temple visit, just to be safe. Aoko shrugged her shoulders as if resigning herself to her fate.
それで何
Something
があったの
happened. After 2 years together, they knew each other quite well. Aoko had one way of asking questions, and Alice had another. Alice asked without raising her head, and Aoko gave her the details.
まず謝らな
I
くちゃ
should
いけ
start
な
by
い
apologizing.
昨日徹
The
夜で
project
完
I
成
was
させ
working
た
on
例
my
のあれ
life was a total
意味がな
failure.
くなっちゃったの
I
よ
only took my eyes off it for a
ちょっ
second,
と
but
目を離し
I
た
think it
隙に
boiled
沸
over
騰
and
しす
fell
ぎて
apart.
そうならない
No,
よ
I'll add
循
that I
環のコードを
shuffled the
23本外したり縫合したりしたんだけど
circulation codes as a precaution. Aoko tried to laugh it off, as if it was someone else's problem.
どういうこと
And
今朝休養が
something
入っ
came
て
up this morning. I
学
was
校
called
に呼
into
び出し
school.
受けたの
They made me show this
そこで
transfer
転
student
入生
around.
の世話を
They
押し
took
付
up
け
my
られ
whole
て
day.
一
By the time I
日が
got
無
back,
残
it
にも
had
消
vanished
費さ
without
れ
a
ちゃう
trace.
怒る
You're
アリ
not
ス
mad, are you?
別に
Hardly.
青
If
子
I
に
got
器
mad
物
every
破産
time
に
you
い
broke
ちいち怒っ
something,
ていたら
there would be no end to the
代
fighting.
用品はあるか
I
ら
have more materials,
また一
so
から
you can
始
just
めれば
start
いい
over.
それより
However,
怒ってるのはあ
you
なた
aren't
の
the
方じゃないの
you aren't you really the one who's angry?
うん
Alice was very much on point today. It was true that, despite outward appearances, Aoko was seething with frustration. That aside,
ええこ
true
の
enough,
転入生っていう
transfer
のがひ
student
ど
I
く
mentioned
ずれ
earlier
て
was
て
a
ね
real piece of work.
すごい
He's
山
been
奥で
living
暮ら
deep
し
in
て
the
たらし
mountains
くて
and is literally
こっち
zero
の常
common
識が
sense.
通じないんだか
I
ら
know people say the mountains are like
三
an
問以下
entirely
いって
different
言葉
world.
があるけど
I had no
あれって
idea how
本当
true
の
it
こと
was,
なの
Alice. Alice raised her head in response to hearing her name. But Aoko kept going before she could get a word in edgewise. Aoko, after all, expected no sympathy in the first place.
初対面から
I
尺
didn't
に
get
触
along
る
well
やつ
from
だ
the
ったけ
start,
ど
but things
教
really
室
took a
を
turn for
案
the
内し
worse
た
when I
時なん
took
か
him into a
失神そう
classroom.
そいつ
He apparently
教
thought
室
it
で
was a
教
place
師と
where you
1対
get
1で授業を
one-on-one
受けるもん
tutoring,
だと
and
思ってたらしいの
that's not all. I mean, you're
Eh,
never gonna believe
それ-
this.
で私
What
が
do you
簡
think he
潔
asked
か
when I
つ丁寧
politely
に
explained what a
教室の
classroom is
な
to him?
それで青
He
崎
goes, but
他の
then
教室は
what are
何
the
に
other
使うん
classrooms
だ
for?
ですって
Unbelievable, right?
教室
I
に
mean,
他も
a
何もないでし
classroom
ょ
is a classroom.
なんていうか
And no matter how
そいつ
vague
は
or
少しでも
unhelpful
説
thing I
明を
said, he
怠
was
ると
just
そのまま
kept
で納得
nodding.
何も疑問に
It's
思
like he
わ
was
ない
just
というか
taking everything at face
想像
value.
力が欠如
I
して
don't
る
know
っ
if
て
he
い
lacks
う
an
か
imagination or
想
never
像するこ
uses
と
it.
まあ
Anyways,
一度言ったことはちゃ
he
んと
at
分か
least
って
seemed
る
to
っぽいから
grasp most
バ
of
カ
what I
って
told
わ
him
け
the
じゃ
first
ない
time
んだけ
around, so I suppose he's not a complete idiot.
どあなたが人を
It's
批
rare to
評す
see
る
you
の
so
は珍しい
judgmental.
わね
Is it really worth getting
そう
worked
いう
up
ダ
over
メな
something
人
like that?
みじんたりと
I
も気
couldn't
にし
care
ない
less
わよ
about him. Just
けど
worried to
明日
screw
か
up
らど
something somehow. What she was really worried about was having to clean up that mess if and when it happened. That had to be it. If not, it would mean she had no real idea why she could not get him out of her head.
とにかく変なや
Well,
つ
he
な
was a weirdo, all
の
right.
案外アリス
You
と
two
気
would
が合
probably
うか
hit
も
it off great.
三問以
Another
外はい
world
い
in
言
the
葉ね
mountains doesn't sound so bad. But from her eyes, it was clear that the question of whether they would get along was irrelevant, given they would never meet in the first place. Aoko gave another non-committal response.
ところでアリス
Anyways,
さっきから
what
何
have you
読ん
been
でる
reading?
霊的進
A
化
book
論の
about
二次創
spiritual
作
evolution, based on the
Spiritual-
spiritual diary.
ああ
Ah,
スウェーデン
Swedenborg,
語で
huh? Is
そ
that
んなの
really
今
worth
更読んで
reading
もし
again?
新書なら
I
退屈
wouldn't
だけ
bother
ど
if it weren't the
これは
original,
偽書だか
but
ら
this is a knockoff.
彼の欠
It
点と長
exaggerates
所を
the pros
劇
and
的に
cons of
褒め上げ
Swedenborg's
ている
style, and reads like a
よくできた
well-written
冒険小
adventure.
説のよう
Having
よ
a secret organization
立
can't
ちは
stand
だ
in
か
his
る
way
秘密
was a
組織
nice
の名前
addition.
が筆跡は
The handwriting
handwriting of the notes and the narrations belongs to your grandfather, by the way.
Oh, okay. I assume grandfather is the mage that we heard about in the beginning of the story.
へえ
I had no idea he was into that sort of thing. He had a great
割と
sense of
ユーモアが
humor.
あったの
I
ね
really miss him. Alko seems nostalgic over her now deceased grandfather.
あなたのお
He
じい
just
さん
contacted you this
夏
last
に
summer,
頼りをくれたけ
didn't
ど
he?
よして
Do we really have
死
to
んだ
go
ものと考
there?
えた
Why
い
can't
の
the dead stay dead? Alko sighed and laid back on the sofa. The soft cushions caved in under her weight.
話は戻るけど
As I was saying, Alice shot a glance at Alko. Her body buried in the sofa remained as still as a corpse. It was clear Alko had tuned out the conversation. Alice silently chastised her with a look. The more she thought about it, the less important the events of the day seemed to become. If she just ignored Alice, the conversation would end there. They would eventually get up and leave today's mistake unresolved for another day. However, that's not the kind of person Aoko Aozaki is.
いいわよ
Yeah, what is it? She asked, still lying down.
今日できなかったの
It's upsetting that you
少
failed
し
today.
だから反
Like
省
I
してるっ
said,
て
I'm thinking of...
学校優
Like
先
I've
は
said,
一
I'm
人前
thinking
になっ
about
て
it.
から
I need
でし
to
ょ
focus on becoming a full-fledged mage before thinking about school. I know that.
ならいいけど
I hope you do. The coldness in her voice made Aoko gnash her teeth. Oh, okay. She knew what Alice wanted to say. She knew better than anyone. The veneer she wore for school was different than the way she lived at home. Well, it could be called hiding in plain sight. Alice thought it was silly. And what the silence told her was,
覚悟を決めろって
Make up
言
your
いたい
mind
のよ
already.
ねあんたは
I know. Today's failure was not a colossal one. She just happened to upset the delicate balance between her home and school lives, chasing one at the expense of the other. And yet, that clearest mistake was a clear sign of Aoko's lack of commitment.
アリスは関
This
係ない
doesn't concern Alice.
これは
It's my decision to
私
make. She had only known for sure for her last year and a half, but she had had a hunch for as long as she could remember. Make the choice, and the day will come. It was little wonder that her morals and conscience had been stripped away. Aoko pushed herself back up. She was met by Alice's cold beauty and wordless gaze.
オッケーアリス
Okay, Alice.
来週
We
中
can
に
do it
決着
next
を
week.
それでいいんでしょ
That work for you?
ええ
As long as
青
it
子
works
が
for
いいな
you.
ら
Alko could not help but shake her head, feeling like she was hearing something similar for the second time that day. Even in the comfort of her own, she couldn't banish thoughts of that country boy from her mind.
じゃあ下準備はよろしく
Well,
ね
I'll let you set it up
私
then.
まだできない
That's
し
still beyond my abilities.
場所は例
Should
の
we
公
do
園
it
で
at
い
the
い
park?
妥当な
Sure.
線ね
The line there is suitable enough.
で
But
も
what
も
about
う一
the
軒
other
の方
thing?
そっちの方が急
Isn't
務じゃ
that a
ない
more urgent concern?
時と場合
It depends on the conditions.
森に変化
I'll
があ
let
れ
you
ば
know if
教
there
え
are
る
any
わ
changes to the woods. After that brief exchange, Alice turned her attention to the book on her lap. Oh, okay. So Alice is a mage. We're a mage in training, probably. Okay, so Alice is probably a mage. We're a mage in training. And I guess whatever we're doing is like a ritual kind of thing. Shop talk was over. Now they could return to their normal relationship as roommates. Shop talk. Alice grabbed the remote and turned on the TV. Oh, Alko grabbed the remote and turned on the TV. Since Alice was busy reading, Alko decided to tune into a variety show that had already started. Alice started to speak, but suddenly cut herself off. One of her delicate hands raised to her mouth. She would always cut herself off the second she realized she was about to say something trivial. Sometimes, her self-restraint would hit too late, and she would make a gesture like the one she was making now. It occurred to Alko that the sound her cute little roommate made just now was different than the wah sound she blurted in the past.
何
What is it? Alko turned down the volume on the TV. Her intense eyes lit up like those of a mischievous cat.
どうということは
It's
ないんだけ
nothing
ど
really, but
ないんだけど
But what? Alice looked away bashfully, not knowing if she should bring it up or not. It was times like these that her expression carried a real warmth and surprising charm. If she could see her in this moment, Alice's father would have to admit that the name suited her perfectly.
今
It's just,
日帰ってくるとき
I
お
saw
かしな
something
も
strange on
の
my
を
way
見て
home and wanted to
誰かに
tell
話そう
someone about it. Alko nodded, beckoning her to continue.
つまらない
It's silly.
本当に意味けど
But I just
どう考えてもそんなことをする理
no
由が
matter
わ
how
から
much I
ない
think about it.
青子
Alco, do
人
you have
間ぐ
any
らい
idea
の
why
大
a
きな
man-sized
猫が
cat would be
ひょこ
riding
ひょこ
around
出前
town
をする理由って
delivering meals to
わ
people?
かる
A man-sized cat? Oh my god, was that the country boy in like a mascot? Was he in a mascot costume? For a second, Alco thought Alice was trying and failing miserably to make a joke again. One would think that about anyone, really. But she seemed completely serious. Even if Alice's sense of humor fell flat for Alco, the story already sounded more fanciful than Alice's usual attempt at jokes. Alco concluded that her roommate was talking about something she had actually seen.
その
A
話
few
には
things off
2つぐら
about
い
that.
信じがたい部
Maybe
分があ
we
るけ
should
ど
break it
い
down.
いの
Let's not.
私もからくりぐ
Even
ら
I
いは
can think
思
of
い
a
つ
few
くから
mundane explanations.
ただ
I'm
理由がわ
just
からない
asking
から聞い
because
てるの
I can't figure out why someone
わ
would
ざ
do
わざ
that.
精巧な猫
Maybe
の
it's
ぬ
as
いぐる
simple
みを
as
着
someone
て
dressing up in finely
出前の
crafted
てん
cat
や
suit
も
to
のを
deliver
届け
food
に
for a
行くことっ
restaurant.
て難易度以前に
I'm more worried
それ
about
を
the
やる
person
人間
doing
の
it than
常
their
識性を
reasons
疑うけど
personally. Alice nodded tentatively at her words.
まあ
But
世の
whatever
中い
it
ろ
does
い
for
ろある
them,
から
I guess.
私
In
た
a
ちみ
world of
たいな
people
のもい
like
れば
us and weirdos
下
that
界
live
から
like
遮断
mountain
された
hermits,
山奥で暮らしていたやつ
What
ま
kinds
で
of
10
freaks
人
are
と
out
い
there?
私だったら
I
見
personally
か
would
け
have
た
just
ら
gone up
声
to
か
them
け
and
て
asked them what
理
they
由
were
を
doing. Alice's gaze drifted at that.
ふーん
A delivery
暮れ
cat
ゆく
riding
住
through
宅街
neighborhoods
に
in the
さまよう
evening.
出前猫
Sounds like something straight out of a fantasy story.
で
Hey,
今日の夕飯どうする
what should we do for dinner
せっ
tonight?
かく話が出た
Hey,
し
what should we do for dinner
私ら
tonight?
もてんや
Speaking
もの
of
にしようか
delivery, maybe we should order in. Alco loved getting takeout, and her face glowed as she spoke. They had no hard rules for dinner, but if one of them was in the mood to cook, they made it a point to make enough for two. I love that ordering while living in a place like that. Listen, they got the money for it. They can spend a little on some DoorDash. They can spend some money on the DoorDash. Listen, if I had enough money to be living in a mansion like that, I would have enough for DoorDash. They better be tipping like crazy. Oh my god, can you imagine someone walking up the whole way? They're like, nah. At the very worst, this meant entire weeks without dinner, but the two of them agreed that this was the system that worked best for them. Whether they found cooking to be too much effort or simply liked ordering out, nights like this one were a common occurrence, much to the chagrin of restaurants in Misaki Town. Not the restaurants, the delivery people. Hey, Blood, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well, Blood. Oh my god, it's not the chagrin of the restaurants, it's the chagrin of the delivery people who have to try and get the delivery up to this stupid house on the hill while also keeping it still warm. Oh my god, can you imagine trying to like rush up here and keeping the food like warm and fresh? Delivering to the mansion meant coming all the way to the top of the hill, the source of their
時
disgruntlement.
間は8時前
It's still before 8,
ギリギリセーフ
so
ね
we're good.
私
I'm
今
really
月がいいな
it's still before 8,
あそ
so
この
we're still
月見
good.
そば最
I'm
近
really
ご
in
無
the
沙汰
mood
だ
for
ったし
kogetsu tonight. I haven't had their sukumen soba in ages. The Hungry Student Council president laid out a stack of takeout menus, like she might fan a deck of cards, and excitedly scanned for anything that stood out. Alice casually responded, without sparing so much of a glance.
悪いけど
Sorry,
私
but
夕
I've
飯
already
済ん
had
でる
dinner. Eh? With those words, Alco froze. All deliveries required a minimum of 2 items, so she was out of luck without an accomplice. Cruel society had decided it couldn't be bothered to deliver to a princess who only ordered a single serving of food. I love that. Rip. R.I.P. us. Rip. Incidentally, to counteract orders from the Hilltop Mansion, the restaurants had declared the minimum number of orders will be 3 starting next year. Alco and Alice were still in the dark to this fiendish change in direction. That's crazy! Traitor! Honestly, big brain of the restaurant, seriously. Is that why you were getting back late? I'm putting this out there though, or you could be like me and you order 2 dishes, and then you put one in the freezer. So it's like one for her, one for Alco, one for Alice, and then one for the next day. Sucks to be them. I'm gonna have leftovers.
帰宅部
Between the
学
bus
校まで
ride
バ
and
ス
the
等
walk,
込みで
and the
片
trip
道
home only takes
20
20
分のあん
minutes.
たが
I should
な
have
んで
known
5
something
時以
was
降
up
に
when
帰
you
って
didn't
く
get
る
home
の
before
か
5
考え
o'clock. Unfortunately for Alco, she had been too out of it to even remember that she was the one who had fallen asleep.
ああひどい
Talk
女
about Ice Queen.
そうい
And
う
it was
時は
clear that
残
if
され
either
た
of
一
us
人の
got
ためにお
food,
土産
we
買って
would
くる
bring
の
home
が
enough
暗
for
黙
the
の
other
了解
person.
私だってこ
Didn't
の
I
前
bring
の
something
外
back
食
for you
の
while
時
I
は
was
アイス
out?
の分も買って
Didn't
きたじゃ
I
な
bring
い
something back for you when I ate out last time? It was unknown how serious Alco was being, but she was visibly angry. She had already woken up hungry that morning, and from the time she was called into school until now, she consumed nothing but tea. It was a small miracle that her stomach was not growling. She knew it was her own fault, but she persisted, wanting to get revenge on Alice for scolding her earlier.
この前ってあれのこ
But
と
last time, you mean
あなたが都
the
心に
time
出
you
向い
went
た
to the
時
city and ate sushi,
夕食に
but
お
only
寿司
came
を
back
食べ
with
て
a
きたの
plastic
に
bag full of
お土
convenience
産
store
はな
food?
ぜかコンビニエンスストアのビニール
That's
袋だった。
hilarious! She ate sushi, didn't bring back sushi, she brought back convenience. I will say though, convenience food is good though. Convenience food in Japan is good.
I'll go ahead, kick the hornet's nest.
何よ
So what?
買ってこないよりはマシでしょ
Nothing, wasn't it?
真実は時
There are
に隠
times
蔽
when
す
you'd
べ
be
き
better off saying nothing at all.
Alice's icy gaze pierced right through her. Aoko had certainly crossed the line by going on and on about how the sushi circled around at the restaurant while Alice ate her convenience store meal. Oh my god! Aoko, no! But new things fascinated her, as she couldn't contain her curiosity towards the conveyor belt sushi shops that started popping up at the time. They were nothing short of miraculous. Yeah, she deserves this one. But honesty can be a sin, given the right circumstances.
わかった
Fine,
わかりま
fine,
した
I get it.
じゃあ
At
今
least
回
we
の
were
は前のと
even
帳消し
now.
ってことで
Alice went back to her book, without so much as recognizing the question. The fact that she did not confirm it made Aoko anxious.
仕方ない
Well, today has been a total disaster. Guess I'll just
おとなしく
whip something up in the
台所に立
kitchen. She stood up, announcing her intent to no one in particular.
Oh,
I also forgot to ask. What did you end up eating anyway? Alice's hand froze on her current page. She suddenly shut the book she was reading and stood up, as if at wit's end. She walked across the drawing room with her book in hand. When she reached the door, she stopped and turns towards Aoko.
聞きたい
You really want to know?
まあなんとなく
Sure? Aoko nodded timidly, probed by Alice's sudden vigor. Alice continued in her matter-of-fact way.
その猫が
The cat gave me one of his leftover deliveries.
And with that brief response, she left the room. The cat gave me one of the deliveries. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's vile. Let go. Ah! Oh, whoopsies. Ah, yes. I know this thing auto-saves. Oh! Okay, hang on. Oh, search for bookmark? Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, here are the configurations, which I didn't get the chance to see. Oh. Archive. What's this? Oh, chapter 1. Oh. Okay, and so these are all the new, all right. So this is the gallery. Oh, this is so fun. What's sound mode? Ah, okay, so this is like a sound gallery. And I guess CG mode is all the CGs. Oh, this is so cool looking. Oh my god, there's so much. Okay. Yeah, I saw GG mode. I didn't see CG mode. I saw GG mode. You can't blame me, can you? I mean, it looks like GG mode. GG mode. It's just GG. Does start take me back to the beginning? Oh, it does. That's not what I want. Okay. Oh, and I can place bookmark or search for bookmark. Oh, okay. So that takes me back to the beginning. And continue, I assume, takes me back to... Oh, it takes me back to whatever I last clicked on. Okay. Oh, why? I hit the wrong button! Oh my god. I do like that the game automatically saves. I do think that's nice. I'm like, oh, that's great. Because I will forget to, like, quick configure save or whatever. My bad. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Anyways, honest to God, I think this is probably a good place to leave it. I think I'm going to take this and, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this in the terms of like each chapter. So depending on the length of the chapters, I think I'm going to kind of take them as they come. So I think that this is probably, I know it's a shorter stream for tonight, and I do apologize for that, but I think that this is probably a pretty good place to
end Witch on the Holy Night for tonight because I've gotten through chapter 1. I have a feeling that like if I go into chapter 2, I'm gonna run overtime trying to look for an ending. So I think my gut is telling me take each chapter as it comes, and then we'll see how far we can get. It's like once we finish a chapter, we'll look at the time and see what is left. So anyways, thank you all so much for being here tonight with me as I played through Witch of the Holy Night. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. As I start this game, I'm really enjoying Witch on the Holy Night. This is a really cool game. I feel like I've only gotten like just the setup chapter, but I feel like there's so much that like I can garner from this that like makes me question. And they haven't even gotten into the whole witch and magic thing. Like the only touch of magic I've gotten was like the beginning prologue where, you know, where they just established that like, you know, death cannot be undone kind of thing. And that was all we got. And so I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting more about this magic. And I know it's not a romantic story, but I'm kind of hoping that maybe there's you know, more of a romance between Country Boy and Tsundere Girl, because I think that they're kind of cute. So it's like, again, I know that the story isn't a romance, but like, I can hope, you know what I mean? Anyways, I think this is where I'm going to, like, officially end instead of, like, you know, it's like I could probably chat for another hour, but I don't know if anyone really wants to hear me just talk to myself for another hour. If you guys want to chat with me, that's kind of completely if you guys want that. If not, we can end early. Like, it's totally fine. But with that said, I'm gonna go see, let me see if there's anyone, I don't think there's anyone playing this, so I think it would be, yeah, yappy, yappy, yap, yap. Oh my god, there is somebody playing this game. There is someone actually playing this game. I'm sorry. Normally I'd be like, yeah, you know, we can chat for the fact that there is someone playing this game and we can raid into them honestly makes me so happy. So, and it's their first time playing too. They are much further than I am, so I am going to have to like leave immediately. So if you are enjoying this game for the first time as well with me, please note that we are going into spoiler territory. Let me make sure that, I'm pretty sure they're speaking. Let me make sure they're speaking. Yes, they are. So, with that said, I think we're going to head out and raid this person. Thank you everyone so much for being here. I truly do appreciate it. There are the raid messages. The first one is for everyone. The second one are for subs. Please grab one of those so we can go say hi. Other than that, the next time you can catch me live will be on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, where it may be another yappy short stream as well. We are going to be finishing up Amphorius officially because I only have a few quests left, and we will be able to move on to Plan Arcadia come the next time I play Honkai Star Rail. So next Wednesday is Honkai Star Rail cleanup. I'll also be showing off live my my trailblazing stuff, which I think will be like really fun. Other than that, the next time you can catch me playing, Wolf on the Holy Night. The wolf inside me, it yearns for the alpha. Which on the Holy Night will be, we're going to be playing this every Monday until we hit the point that I can no longer stream it anymore. I know that at a certain chapter, you're no longer allowed to stream it. You're not supposed to. So we're going to go up until I hit that point, and then you'll just have to listen to me talk about it offhandedly afterwards, because I won't be able to share my reactions, which is kind of sucky. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about, Yuzu? You're crazy. They just want you to go to their Discord. They just want you to go to their Discord. Definitely no, so they can't hack your account. Definitely not. So with that said, I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of your days, your nights. I'll hopefully catch you next time. Next stream. Bye-bye, gang!